have a mute button here pressed the whole time? Well, Tim helped out, of course. So let's rewind a little bit there. I have no idea how that mute button got hit there. I'm thinking it's when I re-plugged in my mic there, but let's start it over again. Let's run back that playbook. I'm just going to run it back, guys, because there's no point in missing all these. These are good actions, good stocks to trade. My bad on that. Let's start it over here. All right, I'll run through it a little bit quicker here, but definitely want to get short on Nvidia today. A little annoyed that I missed my spot by about 10 cents earlier this morning, which was 107. I had the order out there and it's already at 104.40s. You guys can see it. I'll even show you guys it in a little bit here, how I have that order out there, and it just didn't hit it. Now I want to see if this can keep coming down. We had 107.15s, looking for this to come down through that 105. It already cracked the 105. So Nvidia going lower, I could see Nvidia eventually coming right back down here, especially to the 100. I'm not saying that it's going to 90 today, but 100 definitely in play. That's only about $4 down now. I would have already got $3 of the $7 available. So that just goes to show me that, hey, man, sometimes you got to take these very early and forget the playbook. Just get the play on, and then I'll talk about it later. SQQQ is another one, right? I'm already long on this one. Got 990s this morning. I said, you know what? I'm not missing this one. There it is, up there towards the 10. We'll look to see if it keeps going. And the third play today is going to be Clorox. And I made a little joke, so might as well make it again. And I'm not going to be like Trump here. I'm not going to tell you to swallow Clorox so you can get your COVID away. I will tell you to take a look at Clorox today for a potential long, as I think this is setting up here on a nice little play. You can see the daily chart, sideways consolidation, looking for the move above 147. We'll see if we're able to get a nice little breakout here in Clorox. Of course, I've been calling out different names in this space like KVU and PG that got that nice little break yesterday. All-time high for Procter & Gamble. We'll look to see if it gets up there towards 176 and 178 today. Not bad stocks at all. Keep these all on the radar. They're going to be interesting. And of course, it'll all depend, will we get that downside action? The SPY and the Q is already giving it up here in the pre-market. And I think that's an important outlook. I think the biggest thing is you've gotten a couple of days where the bulls think they got it. Now they'll stuff it to the bulls, right? They stuffed it to the bears. Well, now they'll probably stuff it the other way around, guys. So we'll see what happens today. Can we continue to the downside today on the SPY? Coming back and taking out some daily lows is going to be important, especially like Thursday's low, right? Yesterday's low, 521. We'll see if we start to get that cut down already this morning, starting to fade off. A little annoyed that I don't have some more short positions on in the morning, but hey, it is what it is. We'll see if we get some bounces. And this is how the market's been doing it. It doesn't really give you that chance to catch it. And that's what I've been talking about. Why? Because the big money is being made by the big players, right? And that's what the hard part here is. Retail, yeah, we get, but that's enough of that action. Let's go over to the Sunrise report today and see what I can come up with. I'm just glad my mic is working now. The worst part is I was hearing myself because I can hear myself on my mic. So I thought I was going good there, but hey, looks like there was some issues there. Mic mute button press. Sorry about that, guys. Let's get going. Let's get to the Sunrise report. All right, team, let's kick it off in the Sunrise report today. We'll be talking a little bit about Expedia today. We'll be taking a look, of course, to see what's going on in the week. It's been a great week. Of course, we always break down the biggest financial headlines of the day to keep you ahead of the markets right here on the Sunrise report. And a big one, important one, right, is Expedia here. And why is it important? Because it's going to give us an outlook into travel, right? So first up, they've reported Q2. It's a mixed bag here. Posted an EPS of $3.51, beating the $3.06, while sales came in at 3.558, just ahead of the expectations. Total revenue here and gross bookings were up 6% year over year. So it's something definitely to keep a watch. But here's the kicker. CEO Adrian Gordon mentioned that a more challenging macro environment in July and softening travel demand. As a result, Expedia is adjusting its expectations for the rest of the year with travel demand cooling off. What does this mean for the travel industry? I guess we'll just have to wait and see. But Definitely. This is this is not the first company to mention this warning. We've gotten warnings from Airbnb, we've gotten warnings from American Airlines, we've gotten warnings from different areas in the leisure industry, right? So be on alert, guys. We could see continued downside here. And what is this telling us? Recession is coming. That's what it's telling us. Whether you believe it or not, I mean, the numbers are there. The only question is, when will that hit? All right, let's get to the second one here. We'll talk a little bit about Paramount Plus, of course, and Paramount Global, as they're making headlines with their Q2 earnings here. Adjusted EPS of 54 cents, which isn't really comparable to the 12 cents, but this is a big thing here, is that they're taking a nearly $6 billion write-down on its cable network and plans to cut 15% of its U.S. workforce. This massive cost-cutting move is part of their strategy ahead of its merger with Skydance Media, of course, the recent merger that happened here, with, of course, traditional TV under pressure and streaming wars heating up. Paramount is clearly gearing up for a major transformation. The only question is, can they actually get the profits that they need, right? Can they get to the bottom line? Can they get the subscribers? Will people even pay attention to Paramount? I can tell you guys, I have Paramount because of Walmart Plus, but the truth is I don't really use it. I probably watched 2 shows on there, maybe 3. So, hey, it's just not, I don't think it's going anywhere. Let's get to the third one here. We'll talk a little bit about some beautiful quarter that came in with Elf Beauty, of course. Let's talk a little bit about this as they continue to shine in the cosmetic market. The company blew past the quarterly estimates with 50% gains in sales and hitting 324 million versus the expected 305 million on revenues. Earnings per shares came in at 110, well over the 84-cent expected. So CEO coming in here and highlighting strong growth across all categories, especially noting their new bronzing drop serum. I don't know what that does, but hey, it looks like it's doing well there. However, despite the strong beat on Elf's raised full-year guidance, they did not meet Wall Street's lofty expectation, leading to a 6% drop in extended trading. We'll see what happens here, as investors are wondering if Elf can maintain its growth momentum. So keep watch to see what happens. Of course, this is also just showing me more recession concerns. Let's keep it going. Let's get to the next one here as we go over now to Unity. Unity Software used to be a metaverse favorite, right? Well, their Q2 results, it comes in here at an EPS loss of 32 cents, which beat the expected loss of 41 cents. Revenue at 449.259 million, ahead of the estimates, but the outlook in Q3 isn't looking rosy. Expected revenues at 415 to 420, missing the estimate here of 439.45 million. So a pretty big miss here on Unity's guidance. Not what you want to see, of course, as it has investors questioning about the company's growth trajectory. Is this the sign for headwinds ahead of the software company, or is it just a bump in the road? I think it's more than a bump in the road. They need to turn things around at Unity, and truly what needs to come back into favor is the metaverse, right? If that's not coming back into favor, if gaming, VR, and that whole goggles aspect of things is not really taking off, well, Unity is going to continue to struggle. Now the only question is, can they survive? Let's go over to the next one here as we get over to Doximity. And this is interesting, of course, as this company has been destroyed since the pandemic. But a nice little bounce back here as Doximity reports strong Q1 results, EPS of 28 cents, beating the estimate of 22 cents, sales of 126.68, surpassing the 119 million expected here. So even better, the company issued Q2 and fiscal year 24 revenue guidance above the analyst estimate. Shares are trading higher on this news, so keep your eyes on this one. If you're looking for a little bit of a turnaround story, we'll have to keep a watch to see what happens here in the health tech space. But of course, this is that platform for doctors. We'll look to see if it actually gets the lift today. All right, next one up, we'll get to, of course, Bitcoin, as Bitcoin's finally back above the 60,000. It was moving all around there. And I think that we need to keep our watch on this. I've talked about it. Above 60,000, you have these cryptocurrency stocks that are probably going to go booming again. So Mara on the radar today, Coin on the radar. All these stocks were getting that jump right back yesterday. Why? Because of the underlying asset, of course, in Bitcoin. So keep your eyes on that as it is rebounding. Can it hold 60,000? Will it make a run to 70, 80,000? Something definitely to think about, and those stocks will be moving accordingly. All right, guys, that's going to do it for the Sunrise Report. Like always, we're trying to give you guys some quick headlines about what's going on in the market, where these big movers are going, and why they're moving, because that's the important part. So that's all for today's Sunrise Report. Like always, stay tuned for more market updates as the market unfolds. And don't forget, subscribe to stay in the loop right here on Trade the Pool. All right, guys, let's get you guys over to the live trading action. As I need to go pay attention to Kit over here, as I got a nice little day trade in a smaller name. MGOL out there, another smaller name moving, but there's a lot of earning stocks also that have gotten a good jump. Will we run into some headwinds today? Find out on the live trading action. Let's keep it going right here on Trade the Pool Live. All right, guys, let's get it started. And definitely a shout out thanks to Tim saving me this morning with my lovely mute button this morning. So I had to give him a little bit of a shout out there. All right, guys, let's go ahead. Let's take a look at the trading action. I'm already in a trade, so we'll take a look at that first. We'll look around to see what we see in the market this morning. And if you guys got a stock you guys want to take a look at, let me know. I'm also in the SQQQ and the swing trade account looking for that long right if the market can keep coming down. And Nvidia, still annoyed about that 107 miss, but hey, what it is. I still like it to the short side. The market still hasn't opened, so maybe we get a rebound that I can get short into. We'll have to wait and find out. Right now, I don't want to chase it at 104 because that's easily how it goes to 107. And then you really get frustrated, right? Because if that's the level you're looking for, you don't execute. And then the level comes back and stops you out at that level, you'd be pretty frustrated. But let's take a look around to see what we can find. And of course, it's not going to only be Nvidia going down and the market comes down, but I just think that that would be the heavy move. I see Google down already 2%. There's going to be some moves that could get that cut down. We'll wait and find out. You guys out there in the chat, let me know what's on your top radar. What do you guys like on the short side of things, especially the short side today? Because that's what I'm looking at. We might have to go on the red side of things today. We might have to put the red light on as we're going for the evil shorts out here. Might have to be that red light type of day. What are you guys thinking? We got to step up to the plate today, guys. All right, guys, let's keep it going. Let's see what we can come up with. What will we trade today? Let's first start talking about this Kit trade. I'll tell you guys a little bit about this one. I'm in this one already in the day trade account here, and you guys can see it. I'll put it right on the screen here so that we can take a look at that action, and then we'll take a look at some other market action here. I'm long right now, guys. I got about 500 shares here at the 276, looking for this to come right back up to the upside. You guys literally see where I'm trying to sell out everything right now. So for right now, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to raise this up a little bit here, this limit, because I'm just looking for this to start working its way back to the 3. I do have a stop limit at 266. That's where I'd want to get out just in case I get some downside action. We'll see what happens on that. Got to pay attention to it, of course. And when I'm paying attention to you guys out there, right, the trading action and talking about stocks, I want to make sure I'm protected. That's why I have the stop limit out there. Normally, I would not have that just sitting there because it just gives them the ability to come back and take me at the 266 and then run into 290s. Right now, I'm just looking to see what happens, really looking for the recovery of 3. I really like how I waited to the 15-minute support to even try to get an entry here, because before it looked like it was going at this 310 and it felt like it was going to come back towards this 278, 276 area. So not a bad area that I'm in. Just got to hold off of the 266 area. That's where I'll get out if I need to. All right, guys, let's keep going. Let's take a look around. Let's see what else we can come up with, but that's on already. And then, of course, we can take a look at the swing trade account and see what's going on there. You guys can see that I'm long on the SQQQ here. I'll show you guys that right quick. Long right there. I got what, 993s? Doesn't look too bad. What did I get here? Let's take a look. 993s, yeah, first entry. I'm looking for really this pulling back to the 970s or this 976, this trend line. But definitely trying to go ahead and get a piece of that SQQQ. Nvidia also definitely need to take a look at that one. Guys, that order, it was right here at this like kind of 116, 115 for the short. It came back. And I was, of course, looking at the Sunrise report, getting that ready for you guys. And it was at 107.05. If I would have seen that 107.05, I probably would have just at least gotten a starter there, maybe 20 shares and looking to add at the 107.40s. But didn't get that. It's already back to 105. If I wanted to hit 105s, I could. I'm going to look for a quick ramp up in the market. It comes back to this 107.20s, and then I get to short it, get the opportunity in the intraday. We'll wait and find out. But definitely on the radar for the short side of things. All right, attaching that back, we'll take a look into the market. You see the SPY already dropping off here this morning, dropped off from the 532, now down to the 528. We'll look to see if we get that continued downside action. All right, Kit's still in the green there for me. I'll keep a watch on that one, but we'll have to keep watching, guys. It's going to be a little bit of a mixed noise. Of course, especially these smaller names could move, even though we, of course, get some downside in the market. We'll have to wait and find out. All right, guys, let's take a look at some other ones. Docs, of course, is pulling back after a pretty strong move here, and this is a turnaround type of stock, so something definitely to take a look at. And SARC on the radar for me, guys. I do really like SARC today. Would love to see a cut down into the gap on SARC, which is there's a gap right here to the left, which is below 35 towards the 3380s. So let's say 34s or 3450, somewhere in that range. I would really like SARC. But even if it just holds a 9 EMA today, 3550s, and we hold off the 35s, that's still looking like a nice little pattern here, kind of like a bull flag pattern off of SARC to look for it to come right back up. I don't mind this at all. And of course, if you're looking at SARC, you could also just short ARKK, right? This actually looks good here on the short here. If I look to the left, I see this resistance, the 42.11. Come to the 42. I'm ready to short you, ARK. We'll find out. If we can get a little pop there to the 42s, oh, I'm ready. I'm ready to get after it. All right, catching up with you guys in the chat. What's up out there? Day Trade Tony, Mustafa in the house, guys. Smash the noise, smash it up, guys. Hey, thank you, guys. Am I still on mute? At least I don't think I should be on mute. All right, guys, we'll keep it going. We'll see what else is out there. Hey, thank you guys. At least you guys were trying to tell me in the chat, guys. I was just. There's too much going on when I'm doing the Sunrise report and all that action, and trying to run it in the background and looking at the chat would be just too much. But hey, appreciate you guys out there. Let's take a look at what else we got out here. Day trading with Tony, Mustafa in the house. Shane, what do we got, man? All right. Still no audio. We should be fine now, guys. We got audio now, right? Just want to make sure. No one in the chat has told me yet, but I'm hoping there's audio, because if not, then we have some real issues here. All right, let's keep going. Let's take a look around. Let's take a look at maybe another couple of names that we can come after today. Qualcomm being one of those has climbed back to the 164. It hasn't been a quick ramp back there on Qualcomm. There's a lot of these stocks that are off the 9 EMA that we could look to see if they just reject. Apple, the same thing. They're all going back to the 9 EMA, slowly back to that level and rejecting it. That's definitely a level that we can get after. Tough guy, audio good. Keep on keeping on. Yeah, no worries, guys. I'll keep getting after it. We'll see what we can come up with today. Yesterday, I saw a lot of dash for trash stocks even making a move, like this Beyond Meat getting a little bit of a lift. This is trash, right? But the truth is, it doesn't matter. If the trash is going to go up, it's going to go up. So we got to be paying attention to these to see if they can keep making moves. Rocket was moving yesterday with that Zillow move. We'll look to see if that can keep pushing. Zillow's up there towards the 50. Will it just fade off today? If we do get some downside action in the market, this actually looks like a good one to see the downside just come right back in and it just closes this gap. So we'll see what happens with this. I'm not going to really kind of look at Zillow for the short really right now, but hey, if for some reason we get an ugly day, this could just fill the gap right back down, right? It's a huge gap here. It was like a nice little 10% gap. It could easily just come back to like 45 and 42s today. All right, what's going on out there, guys? I've been shorting McDonald's for like 3 days now. Do you like swinging? Yes, I really do like swinging. To tell you the truth, that's what I'm all about, man. Swing trades is really where it's at. At least that's where I feel. And the big thing with these stocks, right, is that right now they're trying to shake out the bears, right? They shook out the bears this last 3 days. So if you've been able to hold on to this, well, shout out to you, right? But the truth is that majority of shorts have gotten squeezed out. I've gotten squeezed out too, right? I mean, it's not like I'm not one of those people, right? I've been in that boat. And now I need to see if we finally start seeing the bulls get washed out. So quick moves to the upside that would get the bulls excited, and then seeing that get stomped out is good price action to look that this actual theory that we're getting this move back down is happening, right? Like always, pay attention to the actual price action today. So quick moves up, running straight into that wall, and then quick moves right back down could tell us that, yes, you're getting that action. Then when you start to break those major supports, you don't want the stock to come back through those supports, because then they can act as support later on, right? They should start acting as resistance and rejecting those levels. All right, so we'll be keeping an eye on that. Nando talking about Meta, another one, right? Clear example. This one's actually above the 9 EMA. So a little bit holding on a little bit better is Meta, right? And if you take a look at the monthly, this is one that I'm probably not going to fight because the monthly is still holding on pretty strong. So until this monthly breaks, I would leave this alone. Meta's just been at the point where it just doesn't want to turn back down. And I still remember when it was down here at 115, everyone was thinking Meta was completely going to go away. It's up 350% since then, and it hasn't turned to the downside. So shorting this stock, I've tried it before. It's never worked out for me. So at this point, I don't think this is a short until it breaks 450. So it could go down to 450 today, but it could also go up to here towards this 520s and then break out towards 530s. So you just got to keep that in mind with Meta, that it's going back and forth. And until it has like a big breakdown moment, then I can start to chase it to the downside. But right now, I just don't see it. All right, let's take a look at what else is out there, guys. We'll be watching different stocks, but Mickey D's is not a bad one to watch for a cut down back below the 9 EMA. The big thing for Mickey D's is it has this long-term weekly trend line that it broke. And then now you're looking for a rejection from that line, right? And so I actually think this is a good level to look at, especially like this 277 holding, right? We shouldn't see it get back to 280s, at least for the Bears. The Bears don't want to see 280s. They're looking for this to come right back through 260s and 240s. So you did get a bullish engulfing candle here, which could be a fake out. But for right now, that's a pretty strong week. That was last week. You need to take out this low here, 250.23. If not, this high here, 276.81. You get above that, and you can keep pushing there on McDonald's. We'll see what happens. In my eyes, the restaurants have been struggling. They could keep breaking down. Of course, we saw other restaurants start to break down earlier this week. Starbucks is definitely one to keep on watch because it's been sideways here on the weekly. And that looks like what? That looks like a bear pattern, right? This doesn't look like a bull pattern. This looks like it just keeps fading off of this, kind of like the opposite of a V bottom. This is kind of more of your V top action. But this does not look good. It looks like it wants to cut through 70. So keep your eyes on that. If Starbucks could go, McDonald's could also follow it. Of course, those are some of the big boys. Wing is another one to look for some weakness. Can Wingstop get some weakness? And whatever happened to Chipotle? Well, Chipotle has been bouncing, but those burritos haven't been as strong as they were. We'll see what happens if it starts to reject this level and starts to come down. These are all strong restaurants to keep a watch for. All right, let's keep going, guys. Over 47 of you guys. Hit the like button. We still got a lot more for you guys to take a look at today. We'll see what else is out there. Docs, definitely going to be on the radar. That thing's been moving fast. And the big thing there is traders getting caught by surprise. They didn't expect to see this move, and I don't think anyone did. So Docs is a reversal that we could actually look for some continued strength today. So I'll be watching that. Pullbacks here make sense back towards like 30.85. And now let's talk a little bit about the Bitcoin names. Let's go to CleanSpark here. CleanSpark already getting a little bit of a lift back here. Going to watch these stocks because if Bitcoin's back at 60K, there's no reason why, if we do have for some reason a bullish day, or for some reason just these crypto names just say, you know what, to hell with the Qs. We don't care about it. We're going to go higher. Well, we'll be watching today to see if this can start to work its way back. This has not looked good here as of late, but maybe we start to turn things around today. So I'll keep these ones on the radar. Coin above 200, right? Mara back above, let's say, the 19 or the 18. CleanSpark back through 13, going towards the 14s, right? This could happen today. There's two sides of the trade, and you always got to know it. Right now, I'm still looking at more of the bearish action in the market. But if we somehow get the positive action, right, we get that bullish action, well, I'll go looking in the crypto space to try to jump on that momentum for the time being and then see what happens later in the day. All right, guys, let's keep going. Let's pay attention here. I'm looking around. I'm seeing Kit come down here. I think I'm going to get the stop out here as it's starting to come back down. Of course, I got the stop limit placed here, so might cancel that right now. We're getting really close towards the bell in just a second here, but let me go ahead and actually just cancel that for right now. Just focus in here. All right, guys, let's go focus. I'm going to take a look here at Kit. Of course, I'm already in this one. Let's see if this one can actually turn around today. What I like about this is that it's a robotics company, and robotics have been really hot as of late, right? So trying my best to stay in this one right now. I got about 500 shares here, so got to be smart, right? Got to keep it on the radar here and make sure that I don't get caught here on the downside too much. But of course, it's a robotics company, and we saw what Serve did, right? That was a huge breakout. Now Serve is breaking down a little bit today, so that's another one to keep a look on the downside. But looking to see if Kit can get this lift right back up and start to push back towards the 3. So this is an important outlook for the 15-minute, not to break these lows here. It can wick there, but it shouldn't break that. And pretty much around 265, I'd get out right now. But it's holding in right now. I'm looking for the move back through the 280s and $3. Would sell some at like 310 and then look to see if I could get back towards the 350. We'll wait and find out here on Kit. MGOL, another one that's going to be on the radar this morning. It was up there towards the 5, closer towards the 6, pulled back all the way towards the 440s, and then got the next jump there. Didn't look too bad off this 5 pullback. It was at like 560s, and I was like, man, this could come back to 5. It did go to 5, but then it also caught some buyers right back up there to 6. So this has been moving all around. The one thing I will say, though, is that the hourly on this doesn't look like it has much more. It's gotten 1, 2, 3 drives, could pull back here towards the 530s and then looking to see if it goes back to that 6. But I don't know if it has too much more after that 6. And if I look at the daily chart, I see a lot of pops and drops. So that's another thing to mention. Got to be careful. But if this thing really wants to go, there's still this attempt here where this thing could come back up here towards this 15 where it was in the past. I mean, I don't know if I trust that, but hey, the chart patterns there for it would really need to get going. It would need volume to get pushing, especially past the 670 area. That's where I'd want to see some continuation on that volume. Let's see how the volume's been as of late. There's been a lot of volume coming in it in the last 2 days. that could get it going. So this one, I know that it looks like it's slowing down, and at least on the intraday and the pre-market action, I can see that. But the daily chart still has room. So definitely not one that I'd go shorting on a day one. And it could get a big pop, especially as it starts to get back through 7. All right, let's keep taking a look. We'll see what else is out there. Taking a look into some oil with Nando. Let's go. Nando, baby. Let's get it. XLE. I'm watching XLE for the continuation. It started to come back there. Let's take a look there at the Chevron to see how that's performing. Right now, sideways action, 144.75, 143. It's trying to work its way back here towards the 9 at least. That's the 147. So if I take a look at the weekly, this has been had a nice pullback here on the weekly. Could come back towards this like 140, 141. I think the big thing here with Chevron is that can it hold that kind of the monthly support? The monthly support is right underneath it. And so that's what you're trying to look for, a reversal right back to the upside. Not a bad one to try to catch the dip on. And I think it's going to be all dependent on what happens in oil. I saw it today starting to work its way back above this, like towards the 74s. It needs to get back towards like 80 and start to run into the 80s, going towards the 90s. If you're going to get this big move back towards like 160, 180s on Chevron, we'll wait and find out. I think the big thing with oil is just the situation with war. If that can keep going into the, let's say, the wrong situation where war expands, well, yeah, that's not going to help on the oil prices, and that's going to give that nice spike. But if we start to focus on recession concerns and we're thinking that we're going into recession, well, a lot of times oil takes a hit during that time. So just understand that there's two sides of this coin right now that you got to keep right here. We'll see what happens on that one. Let's keep it going, guys. You guys know where you're at. It's Trade the Pool, guys. You guys ready for the open? I know I'm excited. Let's keep getting after it, team, and seeing what we can find in the market today. All right, guys, take a little bit of coffee, get ready. I'm still watching it could stop me out at any moment here. I could add here too, but I don't want to expand too much risk in the morning here. I've been trying my best to try to keep it to like 50, 60 bucks here in the morning, and then use the rest of the money at the open, and just trying to continue to improve in the pre-market trading. It's hard. I will say that. Pre-market, I do good on some trades, really good. And then other trades, sometimes I just leave a little bit too long. So keeping a close eye on that one. And of course, what stock I'm trading there is KIT. So we'll see what happens on Nautical Robotics. And of course, this one recently had a split. Just mentioning that so that everybody knows about it. Of course, the next support could be a move to like 263. I don't want to be in it then. I'm looking for this to reverse on a go from red candle to green candle. It opened at 217. I'm looking for this to kind of turn around in the next 5 minutes and start to ramp above the 280s. I could add at that 280s. If it was the open market, I'd probably add. But in the pre-market, I'm going to look to see if this can start to ride up there, especially closer to 310 towards the bell. I would take all the money and run there and try to reload and KIT. All right, we'll look to see if we get that move above the 280s, guys. Let's get after it. You know where you're at. It's Trade the Pool. Getting ready for the market open here. We got about 20 minutes for the market. All right. All right, traders, and you guys out there, let me know what stocks you guys are taking a look at. Let's take a look at the sectors and industries, see if there's anything that shows up there that, something we want to pay attention to. And a lot of these sectors are just coming back to the 9 and could reject today. And there's so many, guys. It's not just one. Financial services, another area where we could see some rejection today, right? So a good example, JP Morgan off the 205, just going sideways. XLF. Same thing, guys. I mean, there's so many names, and that's what it is right now. When the VIX is elevated, right? When the VIX is elevated like it is right now, and the VIX starts to get elevated, what happens? Well, one major thing happens that traders need to know. And if you're a newer trader, you probably don't know this. But when the VIX get elevated, stocks move together. The correlation actually goes higher, and the overall market depends more than it normally does, right? So in times of uncertainty, if the market is the focus, then that's what you got to be looking at, because that's going to determine a lot of these stocks, right? That's why the algorithms are winning, especially during this time, because they're able to be faster on the decision making than, of course, you would be as a retail trader. So smash the like, guys. We still got a lot more for you guys. It's going to be a fun day here at, of course, Trade the Pool Live. Ready to trade, get some money, guys. I got my Mamba shirt on. Of course, Mamba forever. Shout out to my man, Kobe Bryant. Man, Kobe. Did you guys see the statue of Kobe and his daughter in front of course, the stadium in LA? I mean, hey, that's what we'll be seeing. And shout out to my man, Kobe. Mamba forever. Mamba mentality, guys. And the biggest thing about Mamba mentality is always, you know, fist up, guys. Going to take some punches, but always just got to keep battling. Your mentality is so important in life, and the choices that we make on how we feel about the results that we get is so important. So traders out there, if you're struggling, sometimes it's okay to take a little bit of a break, right? Maybe it's just even one trading day off just to get your mind right. That's why I think it's so important on the weekends for you guys to focus on getting your mind right for Monday and then coming in here with a planned attack. Let's see what we can come up with today. A lot of the action today is going to depend on where we get the downside leak. I'm looking for those pops, of course, on the price action to get shot down, right? And I could also trade the pops, right, on the upside. That's one thing that I've been thinking about more and more of. If I'm feeling that we're going to get these pops, there's no reason why I can't trade one of those for the pop and then trade it right back and reverse on the trade. So we'll see what happens there. Let's keep taking a look into the market and seeing what we can find. Guys, smash the like. There's a lot of you guys out there in the chat. Let me know. What are you guys taking a look on? Is that Johan? Let me see here. I can't really see. Jashan, what's up out there on Facebook? Let me know. What stock are you taking a look at this morning? We'll keep taking a look here. Pub M getting a smackdown. This one has to be on earnings. I actually like Pub M. I've talked to the CEO multiple times. Taking a look at this is, of course, Promatic advertising. Man, this was up there towards $23 and got the wallop now. Trade Desk, is that getting hit just as hard? No, but this one could come right back down, right? This is in the same space. MGNI is another one, very similar. Magnite, these are in Promatic advertising. Of course, the best is the Trade Desk, but we'll see what happens there. How's ARKK doing already, guys? Is that already fading? Yeah, it's fading a little bit there. Looking for a little pop here. If it can come back to 41.75, 41.50, somewhere up there, we can get short into the open. We'll find out there. Skin, of course, another beauty company taking a hit here. And a lot of these health companies taking a hit there. Elf, of course, taking a beating there, guys. Down to 171, was just at 188. And if you take a look at the daily chart, you'll be even more stunned. This thing was up there to 220s. Now really starting to struggle. Ulta, we were looking at this, like, would it come back there at the 400? It didn't do that. It's back to 320s. It didn't do that there. Where is Ulta coming down to? I'll tell you one thing. At some point, I want to be an investor in Ulta. I can tell you guys that I feel like this company has done so many things right since especially the 2020 time. So if I can start getting my way back there, and sometimes you got to look at this in kind of more of a longer term approach, right? And so the next resistance off the quarterlies is going to be, well, I see support here. Resistance is a little bit of a mixed noise here because it's support here, resistance here. So I'd put it at 350s, and then the next layer towards this right here in the middle around 300. So can we undercut 300, start working our way into the 250 area? Something definitely to look for. Going to be looking at like kind of the dailies to see if that can finally start to recover at some point, the 9 EMA. It still hasn't done so in a long time. And of course, we can take a look at maybe like RSI and things like that. But look how Ulta is really hit here on the RSI. RSI for Ulta has pretty much always turned around. What is this? Let's get here. I got RSI 32. Looking at closer towards RSI 16. Yeah, 16 towards the 16 or the 9, the 10. So right now we're at 14, right, on the RSI. So looking for another takedown below the low here. We got down to an RSI of like 8. Let's go back to that 8, looking for that third bottom, and then going to look to see if Ulta wants to turn around for the holidays. And of course, the back to school trade is on. We could see some good numbers come out of that. Ulta, of course, your high-end beauty. Elf is your kind of your discount beauty. And if that's getting hit, it's kind of scary to go after Ulta. I'm just thinking in the long run, definitely might not be a bad investment. We'll see what happens there. Will Starbucks come down today? Will Mickey D's come down today? Will Nvidia keep dropping? Guys, Nvidia bouncing towards the 105.35s. Looking for the move back towards 107 today. We'll have to keep a watch on that to see if we get the cut down there. All right, continuing to watch Kit here, guys. We're back to 278. Part of me is like, man, should I just take the trade off? I'm 2 cents in the green here, and I hate being open. I'll tell you the truth, guys. I hate being long before the open if I haven't taken some profits. So I love when it's a stock that's already moving, right, and I've taken some profits. Then the volatility of the open can come and it can shoot it higher. That I don't mind, but I hate being stuck like right off the price action right now, and then the open comes and then it's a quick move down just as a recollection of volume. I get stopped out and the stock comes right back, right? So we'll see what happens here off this 280s. Can it just start to push here? If not, I might just let go of it here, guys. We'll see what happens there on Kit, up about what, a cent, 2 cents. We'll look to see if it can start to push into 280s and really start to push higher. There's about 1,000 shares there at the 280s. It's not too much. We'll look to see if it can keep pushing. All right, taking a look at the scanners here to see what else is standing out to me. I see here our Turtle Beach. We'll see if this can get moving today. It is starting to come back here. And this one didn't have the worst report, but I don't believe it too much here to continue getting that push. Turtle Beach. Logitech is the one that didn't have the best report. Now, that's one that didn't have the best report and also bouncing. But if you want to take a look, they're very similar charts, right? And look at the pullback action on Logi. It's pulled back a pretty good amount. We'll look to see if it bounces here. CVX, definitely going to be on the watch. What about CVS? Has that bounced there? And are those healthcare plan starting to get the bounce? This is actually an area that I do see some strength. Let me see the RSI on the daily here to see what's already pretty strong here. CNC, Molina Health. Definitely I've seen Molina Health as of late. Alliance Health. Oscar Health, definitely one to keep a watch. Clover Health, we talked about how that one's been trying to make the move. UNH, definitely one that's been strong. We'll see what happens to these healthcare plans. Humana on the downside. That one not looking as good. Kit still just hanging on there. MGOL got up there to the 544s now. Got up there all the way as high as 611. It's back to 545. We'll see if that one gets the bounce there. Looking around, guys. What else you guys got out there? What are you taking a look at? If there's a name you guys want to talk about, throw it up there. Expedia up towards the 130s. And this one gave a warning, yet got the pump up. So that just tells me that I got to be careful out there. Leisure is going to be an interesting trade. It could be a trade right back down today. So right now I'm looking at like RCL. I'm looking at CCL, right? I'm looking at NCLH. NCLH and Carnival Cruise Lines did not bounce nowhere near as much as Royal Caribbean did. And now we need to take a look to see if we reject today and get some downside action to come back into Royal Caribbean. So, of course, the real cut down is through yesterday's low, which was 149.50. So I would keep an eye open for that. Right now, we've had 1, 2, 3 times towards the highs. Around that 157 was the last one. I'd look for one more attempt above that 157. Let's say closer towards the 160. And then the dump down in Royal Caribbean. We'll keep a watch on this. This actually doesn't look bad at all. I'll see what happens here to see if we get that cut down in Royal Caribbean and we start to cut right back towards the 140s. And of course, you guys know I love the cruise lines. But the truth is, take me on another cruise, Royal Caribbean, because I'm going to short you today and make some money. And then, burn, we'll go leaving the port Let's get after it, guys. Yaz, another MGOL run. We'll see what happens on that one. Yaz, keep getting after it. I watched your interview, and I got to throw it up. I'm going to throw up the link in a little bit if you guys want to take a look at Yaz's interview. Shout out to you, man. It was a good interview indeed. If you guys haven't taken a look at it, of course, we have tons and tons of interviews right here on our channel, Trade the Pool, so you guys can see the funded traders, right? The traders that went through the evals and got to the results that we're all trying to get towards and getting that account. I wish you the best on your account, Yaz. Keep getting after it. I hope you're doing great. All right, let's keep going. We'll see what else is out there. Got a lot more to take a look at here, guys. It's 9:22, almost to 9:30 bell here. Was supposed to have a guest join me right now. We're going to take a look at the second place winner in the bull run, but not seeing him jump in right now. We'll take a look to see if he jumps in a little bit. But if not, no worries. I'll push him back a little bit at the open here and focus on the trading. Then we can get back to the action. But let's keep looking here to see what I can come up with, guys. Kit still just chomping around here, guys. That's where it gets hard on Kit. Little part of me is thinking just take the money and run, guys, because the pullback is to the 9 EMA. That's 264, right? And so I'm at 276 here. I'm only down about 2 cents here, but towards the bell, I hate, like I'm telling you guys, I really, really do despise to be stuck in a name right towards the bell here. 270s, we'll see what happens here. Now getting that decline towards the 268, 267. We'll see what happens as we get this Kit pullback here. And 264s is that 9 EMA pullback, so got to be careful with that. We'll look to see if we get that pullback and we start to come right back up here. Does it look like it? But I'll give it the chance here. 264 is going to be that out there. It went to 262 just a second ago. Cuts through that again, and I'm out of here like it's butter, man. It's moving all around here. I'm seeing 266, 260, 270s right back. We'll see what happens if I get undercut here in Kit. All right, I got to set up a stop there. I definitely don't want to get caught there in Kit. We'll see what happens. 260, probably 260's got to be the out. Trying to set up here a stop limit here. Don't want to put it out too early, but yeah, definitely want to make sure I get protected here towards the bell. It's 9:24. We're almost to the bell here. All right, looks like I do got my trader in, guys. We're probably gonna have to keep the interview a little bit shorter since we're a little bit closer towards the bell. It's 9:24, but I will try to bring him on for a quick second here so we can find out how the Olympics went and how kind of the trading went for him. Of course, the second place winner, so excited to go ahead and bring that on here. Let me go ahead and just set a stop here and then kind of bring on the interview here. Just definitely don't want to get caught as I'm interviewing here towards the opens. I got to set the stop there. I have a feeling I'll get stop hunted because I got to set the stop, but hey, it is what it is. We'll get focused here, guys. We're going to do a quick little interview. I think I'm going to have to keep him for like 4 minutes or something right before the bell. I'll try to get it down so that we can focus on the trading action. Let's go ahead. Let's get to it here. Let's bring on our trader that got second place in the Olympics. How we doing today? What's going on? How we doing?
Everything is good. How are you?
Doing great, man. And first of all, what's your name? Tell us a little bit about yourself, what country you represented, because the truth is, I wanted to see a flag running around here, chasing that gold, baby. You got the silver, so silver's not too bad, right? Silver's better than bronze, right? So not bad. Tell me a little bit about yourself.
My name is Sotabek. I am 19 years old, so I got second place in the Olympics. I'm from Uzbekistan.
Awesome. Tell me a little bit about your trading. You were in the bull run competition, right? And so being 19...
No, it was a bear battle.
Oh, the bear battle. Yeah. All right. On the bear side, I might have to turn the red lights on. But hey, love to hear it, man. Tell me a little bit. Being 19, I mean, I'm sure you get a lot of comments from a lot of different people. If you talk about trading, they're like, I don't know about that, right? But tell me a little bit about it. What got you into trading? Why you think this is kind of the avenue for you? And have you just started trading? Is this something new to you?
So I've been on trading like almost 1 year. So I won the competition before this. Before this broker, I worked with another broker. So then I find you guys, and I found many opportunities in your platform. So then I choose your bro. Yes.
Love to see that, man. And you did really well. I mean, silver, not too bad. You got a nice reward here from that. Now, of course, we'll look to see how you continue in getting after that eval, right? I think that's going to be very important. Are you going to change up anything in your strategies or anything as you get towards that eval? What are you thinking?
So in trading, like I think the most important thing is risk management. So
Of course.
so I'm just working with one strategy, and I think that's enough for me.
Yeah, no, hey, sometimes just rinse and repeat. I talk about that, and actually our title today is all about maybe trading like 10 stocks, or at least having some stocks that you just continuously watch, right? Of course, you guys see me like focusing on all the market. That's hard. That's really hard to do, right? I mean, the truth is there's so much going on in the market. It's hard to trade everything, right? When I talk about trading everything underneath the sun, well, the truth is you're probably not going to be able to do that. But I love how you're sticking to one strategy that just seems to work for you, right? Now you got to get after it in the live market, get after that eValve account. I'm super excited to see you continue on your journey. I know being young, it's very hard to find, let's say, friends and like different people that you can learn from in trading. So, hey, reach out to me at any point in time if you want to learn a little bit more, if you want to talk about some different things in trading. And for you guys out there, that's what this is all about, right? At the end of the day, I do this stream to bring us together, right? Especially traders that are really trying to make that next step, right? Because at the end of the day, there's going to be plenty of traders that are going to come in here, just take one big swing, blow up an account and get out, right? But I'm looking for those traders that really are trying to figure it out, right? Trying to get through the hurdles of trading, the ups and the downs, because that's how it goes, right? There's going to be some good ups. There's going to be some downs. It's all about controlling the down. You said it best, my friend. Risk management, right? Risk management, right? Focusing on that, taking it little by little, and then waiting for the big hits to just show up. Because that's the one thing that I'll tell you. The more that you focus on just base hits, little trades in the green, green, but keeping those really small risk, right? Then all of a sudden you'll get that big winner. That's the way it goes. It's a lot of it is more mathematics, right? If I take a trade and I set myself up for a nice win consistently, but I'm also consistent on the amount that I'm losing, when I get that outlier, right? Because we're all going to get an outlier in our statistics where we get a good trade, that's going to get us that nice return. The key is not getting the outlier on the risk side, right? Not getting one trade to blow up our hard work, right? So, man, looking forward to hearing more and more about your trading journey. Keep getting after it. I got to go and trade in the market right now. And just to mention, guys, I'm out of kit there right at the open. It's already kind of dropping here. So go focus on your trading action. Go get after it, my friend. And remember what you told me, risk management. Get to that success, man. Let me know how it goes, how the journey's going. If you run into problems, you just want someone to talk to, understand, I'm here for you. Money Mitch will be here, and I wish you the best. Congratulations on the silver in the Olympics on the bear side. I hope you're able to nail it as a semi-bear myself. Keep getting after it, my friend. We'll see what you can do today, and we'll bring you back. I'll look forward to hearing from you, and maybe we'll bring you back in like a week or two and see how your journey's doing. All right?
Yeah.
Sounds good, man. Go get after your trading. It was good to talk to you today. Time to go get to the market action. I'll see you next time. Take care, my friend. All right, guys, back to the market here. We'll be trading here. Kit down out the gates there. Let's go taking a look at the SQQQ and that trade, because that's what I really want to focus on today, right? We'll be taking a look to see if Nvidia can come back, and I can maybe take a shot on Nvidia. It got to 106, guys. So Nvidia back to 106, and it's already back to the 105 here. I'm looking for a little jump higher, guys. I would love to see this get back here towards the trend line on the Nvidia, and I'll show you guys what that trend line is right here. So there's a trend line here where it kind of rejected to get to on this pop of 107. Let's get back to 106.77, 107s, and then I can really start to get short. I could also long it into that spot, but that's about $1 up, maybe risk about 20 cents, which is very hard in a stock like Nvidia. MRIN showing up on the scanners there, 220s, not bad moving there. I'm going to go ahead and take a look and take this off. We'll take a look at some other scanners that I have available here. Let's keep getting after it, guys. You guys can see I lost about $92 on that kit. Got to keep battling here. We'll see what happens on kit if it can come back, but definitely a drop down to that 230s. Probably should have just cut it at that 276 before the bell. And it's just a learning lesson there. I've been telling you guys about it. 3 to 5 stocks max, says Future Day Trade Billionaire. Not a bad one. Not a bad outlook there. I don't mind that, right? But the truth is, if I traded only 3 to 5 stocks here, Future Day Trade Billionaire, I don't think too many people would tune in if it was just those 3. So I try to cover everything. On my own, I would probably focus more in higher quality kind of sector and industry plays. That's what I would focus if I was just on my own, right? Just to give you guys the insight. Let's keep getting after it, guys. Do want to take some swing trades on today and taking a look here as the SQQQ pulls back here, looking for some ads, but waiting for it to come back towards like 975 and 970s. Right now on the swing trade account, you guys can see right here, I'm down about 3 cents on it. I don't want to give up the share size here. I'm really looking to size up as I come down to the 969. But for right now, I just got to take it easy. Let's go taking a look at elsewhere, right? There's so many names that I can trade today. Like even like this Zillow back to 50 and then maybe a 50 rejection right back through that 49. Doesn't look too bad here as it just peaked, went right back through this 50.26, got to 50.40s and could just reject that and start crashing right back down. So this is not a bad one to maybe look for the decline right back through yesterday's level and then back towards the low, which is 46. We're talking about $3 down here. So it could take about 50 shares here at 50 and then maybe risk about $1 or $2. I don't mind that. So let me see if I can get just a small position in Zillow Group today, but can look all around for some downside action. MGOL, of course, unusual volume, showing me that. RXT, another one that's making a little bit of a jump here. This is Rack Space Technology. Nice little jump there, guys. Let's go back to Zillow. I don't mind taking a shot here on Zillow. Want about 50 shares of Zillow. Let's see if I can get back there towards 50. All right, guys, I'm gonna put 30 there at 50. And at 50 20s, I'm going to put another 20. All right, there you guys have it. So there you guys see it. 30 shares already hit there at 50, short on Zillow. We'll see what happens. And this is in the swing account. Going back to the day trading account here. Let's go back to Nvidia. Keep my eye on that. Another rejection off that 106. SQQQ starting to drop a little bit there. NVDS is another way that I can come after is today. It did hit the VWAP holding right now. This is 46.47. I'm looking for a drop to 46, wash out some traders there, but we're already getting that decline there. And Nvidia is going to be the one that I feel like leads the downside action. So I got to be careful here if it just takes off on me. Already a nice little pop there of about, it's about like a 10-4 spread, 16 cent spread. Let me see here. What's the spread here on NVDS? About 4 cents here. We'll look to see if I get that drop here. Really looking for a drop back here on the 15-minute towards the 46 and then a recovery. MGOL, how's that doing? Got back there towards 6, but it's starting to fade off of that 6 there. Can it keep going today? I feel like, MGOL is starting to slow down. It's had 1, 2, 3, 4 attempts to get through that 6 now and just failed that 6 again. I feel like it's going to fade off of that 6. Let's see if it goes back up there. It's had a 1 up, down 1, up 2, down 2, up 3, down 3. Let's see if it takes 6 on the next move. If it fails at 6, comes up here, hits 6, and then starts to fail, that's where I could think it could be a short. But it's going to be hard because I talked about how that daily chart could be a big breakout on this back through 670s. So I'll be watching MGOL. I don't think I'll trade it, but definitely it's hot. A lot of people watching it. So if you guys are out there taking after it, hey, can't blame you. NVDS now pulling back there to the 4630. So let's go take a look at Nvidia, see if we can get back there to the 107s, and I can come after that one. Here, getting a nice little lift right out the gates here, guys. So Turtle Beach, big push up here, guys. Not a bad little push there to the 16s. Could take a look to see if Logi gets to move also. But hey, just mentioning one there. Blind, BLND, Blend Labs, getting a little push there to 360s. We'll see what happens on that one. Doc S also showing up. Talked about how Doximity has been a reversal, right? On a stock that was really bearish and now getting a little bit of a lift. Doesn't look too bad on the 34 pullback. We'll look to see if it takes out 35 again. RKLB, Rocket Labs. So SPCE could be in play again. That was in play yesterday. The trash is moving out there. Be careful out there, guys. Beyond Meat pulling back. Maybe an inside day. Maybe starts to get back through that 660. We'll wait and find out there. Nikola getting a push here to 960s. Big push there from Nikola, about 20%. I don't know why, but hey, I ain't getting in front of it. That tells me look at Tesla. Maybe for a potential reverse to the upside here on the push back. And maybe gets to 200 and then fades. But right now, looking like it wants to take that 198, go up here as I'm seeing Nikola get that nice little push. Doesn't look too bad to see a little bounce on these names. We'll wait and find out. How's the Zap doing? That thing's just still hanging out. Man, that thing doesn't want to go down. We'll wait and find out on that one. MGOL, you're in that one, Chris? Get after it, man. Take that money. Ooh, look at that downside. Goes towards the 595 and chapow back to 540s, guys. Oh, man, I didn't want to be that type of guy that called that turnaround, but look at that. 595s come and chapow she goes, guys. So there you guys have it. Red, red, red on the 15 minutes. It wicks to the $6. Now failing that spot. Now you need to look to see if you break the trend line to see that continued downside action here. So there's a little bit of a trend line here that you could break, and then you start to get that to cut down through. That's already around the 540 spot. 550s could reject off the kind of the VWAP and then really start to fade off. So like 566, 550s don't look too bad here for MGOL to come right back towards 5. What a rejection there on MGOL. That one was a tough one. Elf off a cliff. Yeah, Elf off a cliff there. Not off the shelf. All right, we'll see what happens. And Ulta and Elf definitely taking a big hit there. All right, Nvidia now starting to get that move back here. SQQQ towards the 985 is going to go ahead and take a look here at Nvidia as we keep going up here. Now starting to think about starting a position here. So let's do it, guys. Let's short Nvidia today. I'm ready to get after it, guys. I will be setting up some trades here and starting up some size here. I'm going to go 20 shares early and then start to size through that. Looking for a pop here towards the 106.80s. That's where I'll start doing a ladder towards 107. And then above that 107, I'll definitely be doing some more orders here. So just going to continue and putting a ladder approach. I'll show you guys what that looks like in just a second here. But setting up the ladder here and now going to go ahead and try to take this trade on here, guys. All right, guys, got a couple of orders out there now. All right, guys, that's what it is right now. I've got about, what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 orders out there for Nvidia to pull back and start to hit me. Then for me to start to get short on that. Could wait to start to see the turnaround, but man, oh man. I don't want to miss this again here. So let's see what happens on Nvidia. Here you guys see it. You guys see all the limits. Who else would show you this? There's no one out there that's showing you guys all this. This is why this Trade the Pool stream is the most transparent live trading stream out there right now. Tell me, what's the other ones? And look to see if you see entry, filled orders. Do they show you their limits? Or do they just tell you, I got in, I got out? That doesn't give you anything, really. Let's keep going, guys. We'll wish you guys the best. Let's keep getting after it. Oh, come on, Nvidia. Missed me by about, what, 20 cents here? Right back towards the 106. And the SPY just getting walloped now, guys. Walloped back towards the 530s. Good Lord, guys. Good Lord. Got to go looking at the SQQQ. Don't want to jump in it too fast. Would like to see one more attempt here. Come back to the resistance, then fail one more time. Come on. Oh, man, I hate chasing, guys. I hate chasing. But this market loves to make you chase right now. It just loves to do it. So you got to be careful with that chase. We'll see what happens, guys. Nvidia not hitting me on those orders. And it got close. It did get close there. So I'll wait. I'll wait here. I'm going to put this back towards like 107, closer towards the trend line there, that 107, 106.87. But man, oh man, that one's a little frustrating. All right, PLMR under 89 for short. All right, we'll take a look at that one. Micron looking strong again. The market, we'll see what happens. Don't chase inside day. Yeah, we'll see. SPY moving up and down right there. It's just a big up candle and a big down candle on the 5-minute. Keep taking a look around, guys. Let me know if you guys see any names moving fast here. All right, let's take a look at some more scanners here. I got a lot to take a look at. All right, taking a look here to see what's up on the day here. From the open, Lilly getting a nice little boost. So that's one to definitely keep your watch on, guys, to see if Eli Lilly starts to come back here. We'll see what happens out there. Lilly up there to 893s. What a rip out on Eli Lilly. And that is right back up there, guys, towards the 893s. So that's going to keep helping different stocks in the healthcare area. Pfizer is one that I've been watching to see if it starts to work its way back. Johnson & Johnson has been a pretty decent name as of late. So maybe keep your eyes to see if Johnson & Johnson can get the move to the upside. Docs is really pushing here now towards 35.14. Nice little pullback on this. Got up there to the 35s. We'll look to see if Docs can continue to move. As we're seeing healthcare, how is healthcare doing overall? Healthcare is leading with technology here, and the rest of the areas are red. Utilities red and big red. Man, what does that tell us, guys? Are rate cuts coming or are they not? If they're not, financial services up. And that's one thing to look at right now. You are still seeing some financial services up, and you're getting a nice little spike there to maybe take a shot there. Zillow, how'd that one go? Did it get it back there towards the 20s? I think it did. So, yeah, it got to 50-50. So I should have a nice 50 shares there short now on Zillow. Let's go take a look at that. I want to set a stop there for Zillow in the swing account. All right, we'll see what happens on that one. That got as high as 51. So I'm going to put 51.20s, $55 risk there. Looking for this to start working its way right back down. It could be a bigger move, cut down through the 49. So just got to give it a little bit of room here through that 51, but giving it about 20 cents there. 51.20s, orders out already. We'll see what happens there. SQQQ could add to the SQQQ as we're kind of holding in off this 990s, looking to see if we just get a ramp up there through the 10. I'm at that point where I got to start taking a look at that, right? Because if the SPY just gives up here, the Qs give up, well, that's easy how it starts to come down here. Let's take a look at that right now. The Qs made a move up there towards 448, rejected it, now starting to fade off. Let's see what happens here at the 10 here for the SQQQs. Will they get the lift off of this? It's only one way to find out here, guys. So I don't want to go too big too early. I'm still looking for the move to 970s to really add here, but I'll add a little bit here. I'll try to get just the tiniest amount here to just add it and start to build the position. 150 there on SQQQ. And this is on the swing account. All right, let's go back. Let's keep getting after it, guys. Let's see if Nvidia is going to give me that entry today. It's not looking like it, guys. It's looking like it wants to fade off that 104.90s. Man, oh man. Nvidia, you are a today, man. Come on. Come on. 2 times I've tried to get in there and I've missed it by about 20 cents. It's a little frustrating there, man. All right, NVDS might be the one to kind of scalp there off the 47s. Might have to just go for the scalp there. Already seeing that downside come in there. Let me see if I can get this pullback on NVDS back towards the VWAP. I'm going to look at NVDS because I'm just not getting Nvidia, the actual stock there, to give me the entries. I got to cancel those working orders, so I'm just going to cancel all that. So cancel all button. This is a good one to have. Just canceled everything there. We'll see what happens. But man, NVDS, can it come back here to 46.70s, 46.50s? That's what I'm looking for. If it doesn't come back, I can't get after it. I can't buy high days. I just won't do it, guys. It's part of my rules not to do that. So we'll see what happens here on NVDS. Don't chase. Don't chase. We'll see what happens there. How did that MGOL do? It's back at 528s, but man, oh man, was that a nice rejection of the 6. Hit down to 220s. That didn't hold on by any means necessary. Nvidia starting to bounce back there. That might give me that entry there at the 46.50s going down here. Let's see what happens on NVDS. $46.58 has a lot of shares, guys. So I'm going to look for him to get filled. 58s has a lot of shares just waiting there. All right, we'll see if we're able to get this and start to get a nice little up move. If I do come after this, I'll probably come after this at 50 shares each and then just try to get like 4, 5, 6 entries. We'll see what happens as it starts to come back here. NVDS. Man, that Nvidia is just annoying me a little bit here, guys. We'll see what happens. Let's go looking at Clorox. Clorox off the pullback on the daily support now, giving me a chance to take that off the daily support. Actually looks pretty interesting here. Off the 141, kind of 68s here. Maybe the 141 for a little bit further pullback, but definitely looks interesting off of that layer to risk off the 140. So that looks good for the swing trade outlook. I would take a smaller size on this, but I don't want to own up all my buying power. So that's where I got to determine what's the best trade there. Unity getting a little bit of a lift there. That's interesting there. Now towards 16. I don't feel Unity will continue, but it is having a nice day. Can't act like it's not. JPM now cutting right back down. XLF right back towards the 42s. Talked about how this looks like a good short. Now that's starting to cut the 42s. I actually like this outlook on the financials to see them come down, and that's not too bad to maybe take a trade on FAZ. And so FAZ not looking too bad, just spiked into the 995. Wouldn't mind to maybe just take the shot here in this one as a smaller trade and then just trying to add to it on pullbacks. I'm going to start with a nice little 200 shares and looking for pullbacks here on FAZ to add to it. There's a little starter there, but just going to also take a look at NVDS because that's really where I want to get in. But if I can get the entry here towards like at least 46.87s, at least the 9 EMA on the pullback here, looking for 46.58s to come into play because there's some good sizing there. Just got a starter there on the FAZ to the upside, looking to see if some banks come down today. Talk to me about limiting myself to 3 or 5 to 10 stocks when I have 12,000 to choose from. Feels right, but I am looking to convince my brain. Scott, hey, Scott, we'll talk a little bit about this coming up, man. I'll talk to you on both sides of this, right? Because you guys see me here and I trade everything underneath the sun. The truth is, man, is that if I was trading by myself, yes, I would still trade a lot of different names, but I'd be focusing a lot on the change from the open, the sectors, and the industries. Now, I do know some traders that only trade like 7 names and do really well. I've seen them. I've seen the results. They're there. So the big thing there is that you start to understand what patterns trade with what stocks. So let's say Tesla. How often does it bull flag? Do you know that? Well, majority of traders don't know that, right? And majority of traders don't know what patterns Apple makes. Well, if you just focus on, let's say, those 5 stocks, you'll start to learn those patterns, and you can start taking statistical data to start looking after this. But we'll talk a little bit more, Scott. Keep me to it, because of course, I get stuck on my trading action, but we'll take a look at that. Braxton saying if there's an issue with Trade the Pool platform, there should not be. But if you did get, for some reason, a max loss yesterday, I would reach out to them to maybe make sure that you're getting your reset of buying power. Sometimes when you get this kind of cut down, right now we're having some issues. I'm bringing you back. But if you did get the max loss, reach out to the customer service team. You should be able to get back in no time. All right, damn, AMD took too big size with smaller stop loss, tagged out, and now it dies. Yeah, that's the hard part there. You got to be smaller in these moves right now. It's a tough trade, but definitely that's the way I see it. All right, this is holding 47, and man, oh man, I don't want to miss Nvidia. Oh, good Lord, man, it's so hard here. It's so hard, guys. Here's the drop here. Looking for this to come back here. There's a big size at 4680s. I'm going to look for him to get hit here. 4680s, there's big size there. So looking for that to get hit there. Let me go ahead and detach it so I can show you guys this. I love to show you guys some level 2 action here too. From time to time, I can show you guys this because it's all dependent on, if I got the chance to. So I'm going to move this right here, this second order form, so you guys can see the action here in NVDS. Look at that, guys. Look how this is moving all around. There's this big order right here, 4680s. There's 15,000 shares just sitting there. So I want this to come to that order, fill that, and then come right back up. It went to 85, right? Didn't get that fill just yet. So I'm looking to see if it can come back towards that 4680s, fill him. Maybe it comes to 75, maybe 67, and then comes ramping back. Can't jump in it too fast, too early. That's easy. How I get caught here. 47 could be the first starter if I wanted to, but what am I doing there? I'm probably doing like maybe 20 shares. That's not going to get me anything. Let's see if we can get this dip down to that big bid, and there's another big bid right below that at 57. So somewhere between this 4680s and 57s on the downside, that's where I could see some filling. FAZ pulling back there, giving me the opportunity to maybe get that 85 or 83 low. So that's where I'll add on FAZ. I'm going to set up some 200 shares there to fill in towards the 980s. Then we'll look for that to come back through 10. All right, have that out there. And let's go back here to NVDS. Looking for that quick down dip to get that entry here. Got to be ready for it, because if I miss it, that's when you get frustrated, guys. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to start to put out some orders here, because I am looking for that undercut through that 80. So I'm looking for 75 on a quick little dip buy. If I'm able to get it, I will definitely start to fill there at 75 towards the 50, right? So I'm looking for a little bit more dip there. I'm going to go ahead and cut it to 50 shares and then just kind of tranche here to try to get some. So I'll put some at 65. Put some at 60. And then I got to put some down towards 50. All right, got a good layer ordered approach here for Nvidia. If I could get the fill, and it's going away from me, not what I want to see here. So didn't go towards that big order size. Now we're starting to pull back, and that order size just jumped up to 407.07. So we might not get that pullback to 47 now, as that big size just moved up there. So you can see it there, the big sizing, the 47.04 is 15,000 shares there now. On the reapproach, does it get filled? That's going to be so important. I do have a time in sales here on NVDS. Want to be looking for some big order sizes to get filled there, to show me that that is not just a spoof. It's actually order size that's going through there. There's a nice little pullback. This should give me that approach where I can get some fills. Let's see if I can get that. Little part of me is thinking I got to jump up at the 47. Freaking Nvidia, man. I should have already been in it at the 107s. It's just so frustrating to see it like not get me that fill about 20 cents. Would be up $2. It'd be a whole nother trade. It'd be a step-up trade to take a big, big win. And there it goes, guys. Back towards the 4740s, 4750s. Oh my God, Nvidia. Oh my God, just no entry for Nvidia. Good Lord, I hate you, Nvidia. Oh man, Nvidia. God dang it. No entry there. Gonna cancel my orders here. A little frustrating, man. Just a little frustrating on that Nvidia. Just gotta leave it alone. It doesn't want me. It doesn't want me, guys. Tesla goes to that 200 rejection. So we're getting those pops and rejections, guys. So can still take a look at that action. Can take a look to see if maybe some other trades like that start to reject there. Zillow looking good for the swing trade. Can start taking a look at the SQQQ as it just did that dip to 990s. Now could really kind of start to take off here and really start to push through that 10. So let's go taking the trade on the SQQQ. Definitely wanted Nvidia, but it doesn't seem like it's going to give me the opportunity. I got to go change my mind and go for another stock here and see if I can maybe just grab something here. So I'm going to look for the SQQQ here for a breakout above 10 here. Let's go. Let's get it here. 1,000 shares deep here. Going to hold off the 990s. Looking for this to start to go back up to the upside. But of course, guys, this is not the I wanted to take the SQQQs today. That's not a bad thing, right? I'm still taking it on the swing trade. Want to do a longer trade on that. But swing trade here, day trade on the SQQQs. Just looking for the upside move through the $10. Got to hold it at least the 10.10. Looking for a little spike here towards like 10.30s. Going to take the money and run and then look to reset. Reddit for the short below 52. We'll see what happens on that one. Shane, get after it, guys. EXFY says Jazz. All right, we'll take a look at that one. See if we can get this to pop, man. Definitely went a little bit big there because this is more of like kind of like a scalp on the SQQQs. We'll see what happens on that if it can get the scalp. But definitely a little frustrated on Nvidia today, man. Just a little bit, just a tad bit. So got to keep the emotions in check there. Definitely wanted to kill that Nvidia today, but hey, didn't get the entry there and can't be mad about it. Now just got to look to see if this SQQQ can get moving here. Don't even want to see it back down below the 95s here, right? So 95s even, I'll probably just get out. So I'm just looking for this to hold the 90 MA now. 90 MA is 93, so let's just do 92. 92, I'll get out. That's a 8-cent risk there. Let's look to see if we can get that lift there. FAZ still hanging out there at the 85s. I'm looking to add at the 80s there. There's 10 starting to show up here for the SQQQs. Could look to add and then really just go for a quick trade there towards the 1020s. But looking for a little pop here to the 1030s, taking some profits. And then from there on, we'll look for pullbacks here back below this level after this, right? So I'm going to look for a quick little pop sell here into kind of the 1030s. Actually, we'll look for the 1020s. We'll just look for a nice little easy 200. Could go for a little bit more, but I'm just looking for a quick little scalp here. All right, we'll see if we can get it here, guys. Here's that level that's kind of holding us back. Then you see a little bit of that leak there, right? A lot of bid support there at the 997, so we didn't want to see that kind of break on the pullback right now. Now you're getting a lot of levels on that 1001. Let's see if 10 can hold here on a pullback and then start to take out the high there on the upside. There's 1003 starting to move here, looking for the pop towards the 1010, and then 1020 is definitely going to look to try to get it all out there, take a little $200 winner, put myself in the green, then looking for a pullback right back down, right? So I'm going to look for a big pop, then a quick pullback, then coming back into it. Look at this 10,000 buy here off the 1001. Yeah, someone stepped up to the plate there. We'll look to see if it works out for them and myself included. Looking around, guys, I'm seeing MRIN, one of the stocks that is making an up move in the smaller names. Whatever happened to that MGOL? Man, that thing was a nice short off 6. A lot of penny stocks being these pop shorts where you got to be careful out there, guys. Serve down to 1352. That thing has completely let go. We'll see what happens on that one. Here's the SQQQs testing right back down here towards the 95s. We'll see if it starts to make the move back through 10. It did get through there. It got to 1003s. Don't want to see this 9 EMA break here. Well, I'm looking for the move back through the 10, back down through the 94s. We might have to just get out. Apple still chomping around, and Nvidia, don't even talk to me about that stock anymore. Guys, there's no one out there probably calling Nvidia to the short side today but Money Mitch, and then Money Mitch misses it by 20 cents. That's just frustrating, guys. It's down to 103.50s now, guys. I would be up by $4 on that name. Just frustrating, guys. Frustrating to say the least. We'll see what happens on that Nvidia, but definitely getting that hit and getting after it. There's no one that was probably calling that. I actually got like literally like crap in the chat a day or two ago for trying to do this. We'll see what happens, guys. All right, Shane likes Reddit, but now the green bar, not so good. Yeah, Reddit, the problem with Reddit I see a lot of times is the spread. The spread's hard on Reddit. All right, guys, going to get this test down here, and it could just cut down towards the 90s. So we're seeing the SPY start to bounce back a little bit. We might get this bounce one more time here. So just got to be ready to cut out, and I could come back in it, right? That's the main thing. Get out, get back in. Get out, get back in. That's how it goes sometimes, guys. All right, here's the 992. Is going to give it a second, but going to put the stop here at the 991s in just a second here. There it is. It would trigger out, so I'm just going to put the 990s here. Stops on there. If it triggers me at 990s. Lose the $100. We'll get right back after it here. At least I know where my out is. That's always important. Let's go looking elsewhere to see what is getting the bounce there that maybe will give me an opportunity. Nvidia down to 104, man. Just a frustrating one for sure. All right, let's go look at AMD. AMD down to that 133. Qualcomm was another one that I was looking at potentially for the short today. That's actually looking good. Has broken down a decent amount. Healthcare sector is green, so be careful out there, guys. Just got my stop out there in the SQQQs, and it's one of those days, guys, where I'm just not getting the trades that I'm looking at, right? Nvidia was the trade there, guys. Didn't get it. We'll see what happens if Nvidia can come back. But, man, frustrating to say the least. FAZ back towards the 979. We'll look for this to kind of catch the bounce off of this 970s, 975s here. And then start to work its way back towards the 10. If we get back towards 990s, I'm going to step up to the plate on this FAZ, looking for the breakout above the 10. We'll see what happens on that one. Oh, man, what a frustrating one on Nvidia because I would be up big already, guys. So that's just the way it goes. And it was about 20 cents miss. So it's not like I didn't have the orders out there, just didn't get the fills. That's how it goes sometimes. Unity up there to 617, 618s. We'll look to see what happens on that one. SPY making a quick up move here. SPY up there towards the 530s. It's how it goes sometimes, guys. We'll see what else is out there. Definitely hanging out now. Time to drink a little bit of coffee, reassess what I'm going to do here because, man, should have already gotten some good green there in Nvidia. And now instead, I'm down 200 here. Got to figure it out. Let's get it right. All right, looking at the SPY, it's coming back here. We might get that ramp up and then the ramp right back. So wouldn't you know it, the SQQQ just hanging off of that 990s. We'll see what happens on it. Looking around to some other ones out there. Let's start taking a look to see what else is making a move in technology that could be turning around. Amazon back to 167.40s. We'll look to see if that starts to come right back down. Apple back towards 213. So there you guys have those back. Nvidia, though, not coming back yet. So we'll see if Nvidia comes back to 107. Definitely, if it gets back to the 107, man, I have to short it. But the problem is that's the third time, right? I should have already been in the green in Nvidia. So it just gets harder and harder as you keep going. Funko would have moved today. Guys, Funko? Well, Funko is trying to make a move on the daily chart, and especially a nice reversal off of yesterday's action. Yesterday, this stock was down there at the 850s. It's back towards 10. Can it get through that $10 level? I think this is definitely something to take a look at today as a stock that's just trading differently than the market. We'll see what happens there in Funko. Stock sell would have been an excellent short off the 200 moving average in VWAP. Yeah, not the worst one, but this one could, keep cracking down. It's just also not moving the most. I mean, it's moved about $1, right? Not too bad. SQQQs haven't moved much either, right? Very similar trades, right? I actually like the SOX S and the SOX L sometimes a little bit more than the SQQQs, so I can't blame you on the short for the SOX L. You could also just long SOX S, right? It's the same trade. It's just opposites. Amazon trying to push here, guys. We'll see what happens if Tesla could push back up there. It's trying to recover there. Nicola on the VWAP. Can this push right back up there towards the 975? A little part of me is like, yeah, scalp Nicola, get your money back. But it's Nicola, man. I can't long this thing. We'll see what happens. Nvidia coming back there, guys. We'll see what happens. It's up there. Do I short off the VWAP? The 105.23s now? That's kind of the level that I'd look at, because to think that it goes back to 107 here, it'll look like a breakout. I don't think it is going to get back to 107. If I want to get shorted here, it might have to be just off the VWAP, the 105.16 level, or in this kind of like 105 level. So man, now shorting at 105, if it stops me out at 107, that's where it really just gets frustrating. It's just hard to come after now. So if I did come after it, maybe the swing trade side of things where I could give myself a little bit more room on things, that's one way to think about it on Nvidia. I got to stop watching this name, man. It's definitely causing me a little bit of anxiety here. CDLX getting a nice little push there to 346. We'll look to see if this one can stay hot there. EXFY, I've heard this one mentioned multiple times in the chat. Expensify has made 1, 2, 3, 4 attempts, 5 attempts to get through that 205. I think at this point, this thing starts to crash right back down. So if there's one that I would look at, maybe a short off the $2 spot, it'd be this one. It'd come back, though, only to probably maybe 185. 180s. So it's not the biggest trade, right? It would be kind of a big scalp if I wanted to come after this one on EXFY for it to come back towards 185, 180s. It actually makes sense there for me. But what is that? That's what? 7% lower, 8% lower, 16 cents. Would have to go big sizing to get the reward on that. So we'll see what happens on EXFY. But this is one of the great things of Trade the Pool, right? I could go short this name. Very rare times could I go short this name on EXFY. We'll see what happens on this one. Not a bad one there. Expensify. There goes Nvidia for the VWAP. I'm trying my best not to short it, man. Because literally a little, just inside of me says, yeah, go short it. Go short it. Go short it. 202, 204 has definitely got some sizing there. 190, 10,000 shares. I have a feeling that 1090s or that 190 is a short, trying to add at the 190s. So we'll see what happens on this one. EXFY, little blow off top at $2. Could maybe make another move slightly above 2. Wouldn't want to see 205 show up. Maybe 202, 201, and then the cut right back down. It's not a bad one. It's like the short I wanted to do on MGOL this morning, but it's how it is, man. Reddit, let's take a look at Reddit. Reddit's one that's starting to come back to the upside, and this is the hard part. Reddit, I've seen a lot of times the spread just widen out. So the way that I see it here on Reddit, I'd go to the 15-minute, and I'd take a look at that, and I'd see, okay, so you're kind of coming back here, and you bounce there, you could come right back towards, let's say, 54.30s before you come down through that 52. So I do see the 52 available, but you might get one more attempt towards the 54 first, and then the cut right back down. So that's kind of the layer that I see there on Reddit. We'll see what happens here. Look at Nvidia back towards 105.50s above the VWAP, guys. I'll tell you one thing. I'm trying my best to just stay off of this right now. I'm looking for a pop towards 107 and then the rejection. That's the only level that I can get short on. And I'm going to respect that level, even though I want to just jump and jump and jump. Unity up there to 1609. This thing could come right back down today if we really start to see some downside. But right now, Unity is just slowly stair-stepping higher. And it could keep going, right? We'll see what happens there. Shop came back to 67, right back to 68. That's going to be looking good for Amazon's move. There's an Amazon getting a nice little lift. So, hey, Qs are lifting here. So Nvidia should get the lift in just a second here. We could still get that opportunity towards that 107. FAZ is down at that 979. I'll keep looking to see when that starts to work its way back at 980s, but am down a little bit there on that FAZ. DOX up there towards 34.76. This is looking like it wants to break out above 35s. We'll look to see if it really can get going here. I'd like to see it break out here above the 35s. I don't have a position on Doximity, but it's also been a big run already, guys, right? And so at some point, this could break the channel. It's in a channel right now, sideways. I'd keep a watch on that. Does it break down this channel? And when does it break it down? So watch for that. That's a move above the 35 for the breakout above. Breakdown below that 33. SPY is going up there, guys, and EXFY is right there at that 201 spot. If I wanted to kind of get short off of this level, we'll look to see if it is a short level or not. What are you guys thinking out there, guys? Lumen is trying to make a move today. All right, trading days. I see you guys in the chat. What are you guys talking about in the chat? What are you guys looking at? Let me know in the chat, guys. I'm trying to catch you guys. LUMN back towards 570s. This was back there towards 750s just a little while ago. Could get going and then maybe get through the 6. Not one that I'm looking at right now, but hey, you guys see the bunch up at the 560s. We'll look to see if that one keeps making moves. IOVA, another one that's trying to make a move above the $10. This one loves to spike and come right back down. So just be careful out there, guys, with this IOVA. But look at the pre-market after hours up to 1060, then 1041s. Just recently was up at the 1040s. $10 holding. It cut down all the way to 9, so washed out the bulls. Now you're getting rebulls that come in here off the 950s, looking for the breakout above the 10. This is actually not a bad one here, guys. We'll see what happens. It did climb right back up there towards the 10. We'll look to see if it takes the next move or a pullback to 990s and find some buyers. But doesn't look too bad here on IOVA. EXFY back down below the 2 here, guys. A little part of me thinking about shorting this penny name here. And I don't short penny names often, guys. So let's see what happens here on this EXFY. Will it reject here and come right back through the 2? As a 250 potential spike in the pre-market, there was a kind of a blow-off top candle, but that was an after-hour candle. I don't even believe that one there. This one came from 157, so it's already up about 30%. No reason why I can't just come back to the 187 here. Maybe even below it towards the 180s. So it'd be about 20 cents and about what? 5 cents on the risk. So can you risk 5 cents for about 20 cents on the downside? That's the way you got to think about it here. It must be a juicy play then. We'll see what happens. Chris S., what are you thinking to look at out there? Boogie Woogie. What's up, man? Well, Boogie's a girl, but still. All right, looking around, guys, trying to make a nice little trade here today. Right now, Nvidia is climbing its way back, but still not above the VWAP. SPY got up there. Q's got up there. Nvidia is just hanging out right slightly above the VWAP. Amazon made a nice move higher. Apple with a nice move higher. So we are getting a little bit of a push here. We'll see what happens here. EXFY trying to break through that 205. So, hey, glad I'm not short right now. I'll tell you that much. Glad I was waiting for the breakdown back below the 2. See if we get this move right back below the 2. If not, 206 hits even, and I'm out. Not even going to watch it anymore after that. But maybe this gets an up move for someone in the chat. I know someone was looking at it. All right, looking around to see what else is making a move from the change from the open. So looking at stocks that are up big and down big here. So we'll see what happens there. I'm seeing AAP down 1.8%. I'm seeing a lot of mixed noise out there in the market. Technology, about 52% in the red, 48% in the green. If I look at healthcare, 74% in the red. If I look at retail, 48%. If I look at consumer staples, 86% in the red, but Costco green tells me maybe taking a look at Costco today as that's pushing strong, man. I missed that Costco move to 848. Nice move there, guys, on Costco. Monster looks like it was doing decent. Now it's pulling back there. We'll look to see if that gets the bounce. Walmart also getting a little bit of a bounce on the day. Big red is utilities, 90% of the names in the red there. So not looking good there in utilities. It actually looks good for like maybe a fade right back down. So you could risk off the 73 here for the move back towards the 70s here, or maybe even the 40s on the real takedown. We'll see what happens there, but not bad there. We'll see what happens on, of course, XLU. Will it reject the 73.09? Maybe that's the move a little bit higher on the 15-minute. We'll look to see what happens there. But yeah, 90% of the names in the red there. Materials, 75 in the red. Consumer discretionary, 57. Industrials, 80% in the red. What's green is actually Generac. This is one that I actually put on the playbook earlier in the week. It did come down a little bit here, and that was closer towards this like 165. It is coming back on the day. I don't know about Generac, but definitely started to come back here. The hourly had an opportunity for the breakdown of the support, held the 139, and it's trying to recover 145 today. SPCE holding that 622s. Will it make the move back to the 640s? If we're going to get an upside or a breakout of the dash for trash, well, here's that opportunity. Another one that I saw moving, right, of course, yesterday was VSAT, right? That one didn't make the continuation right back to the upside. It eventually got a little bit of a move there back towards 25.57, but hasn't made the move again. So keeping that one on the radar to see if it goes back to the green. It's fading right now. We'll see what happens. Nvidia now rejecting some of the VWAP, and it just doesn't want to get back there towards 107, guys. I think someone big might have shorted it already at that 107, so I'm not getting that opportunity right now. I think we're going to get maybe what I call the VWAP fake out fade, where it comes up here, does that 3 attempts to break out, makes a breakout, a fake breakout attempt, where it could kind of like maybe do a little blow off top to 106, and then comes down, crashing through the 103s. We'll see what happens on this one. Frustrating on Nvidia, to say the least, guys. I want to get short on it, but I just can't right now, guys. Just can't. It just doesn't give me the opportunity. The Qs could be another way that I could go about it today, guys. I think that's what I'm probably going to have to do, is just the overall Qs, the overall market. That could be one way to do it, but hey, that's just how it is. Right now, from the hourly, I'm starting to take a look at that as we keep going here. It's 10:20, guys, so in a second, this is going to change up. One thing that I see is technology in the most recent hour is actually more bullish than it is for the day. That's something to note. Utilities is actually bouncing back, but is deep red. That's something important to note there. Basic materials, what's doing well there today? Well, I see, of course, leading is paper products, coal behind that, then aluminum, and a lot of red there in other areas. Gold getting a little bit of a pullback right now. We'll look to see what happens with this one. This was on the radar yesterday for a move back to 1750s. It did do that 1750 move. Now looking to see if it can hold pullbacks to like 1710s, get back towards 18 today. So this actually doesn't look too bad on GOLD. It starts to recover the VWAP. I'd look for a little maybe pullback towards 1725, 1730s here, but it's not looking too bad on GOLD. I don't know, man. Maybe some gold play action today. We'll find out here. One bottoming, two bottoming. I'd look for one more, kind of back towards the 1729. Give me that opportunity to come back to the VWAP. If not, it could just take the 1740s and keep stair-stepping higher. MGOL showing right back up here. Now the spike is coming back there for MGOL. Came back towards 514s. Now you're getting another spike here. So I'd keep a watch on it off the VWAP, the 550s. Can it hold that pullback here? We'll wait and find out. It just went to 580s here. So 550s, not a bad pullback there for MGOL. If I did take this trade, I would only go at it like at 100 shares here. But let's see what happens here. I don't mind taking about 50 shares here in the 560s, then 540s for the next 50 shares here. Let's see what we have fun here with MGOL. It's not a bad name here. I would just like the 550 pullback, 540 pullback here, and then the breakout. So let's see if we can get that here. 15-minute has a nice little pattern there where it can come back to this 540s, then refill and get that push. But if you reject this trend line too and you can't close in the next 15 minutes above 575, that's also a telling sign here. So we'll see what happens there on MGOL. Still no pullback to that 50. You got to 52 there, but the VWAP's at 51. Looking for an undercut of that into the 90 EMA line, 540s, and then it comes back up. And Nvidia just keep rejecting. Doesn't look like it wants to get that move. And the Qs and the SPYs just chomping around. We could still see some chop out there. Looking for that 540 pullback here on MGOL. Don't want to overextend too early here. Looking for that pullback towards the 550s, 540s. We'll see if we get that. So you can see here on the 15-minute here, if you pull back into this trend line, it does look pretty decent here for it to hold that. And that's exactly what you got. You got to move back above that. Now looking for it to come towards the 540s and then take off. Let's see if we get that here, guys. And then it comes back towards like 542s, 540s, and then makes the move. All right, there it is. 543s available here. I'm going to go ahead and try to get some there. There you guys have it. I'm long there a little bit there. Looking to add a little bit here in the 30s if I can here. All right, got another order out in the 33 area to see if I can get that ad there. Looking to try to get some at the 34s. There you guys have it. I'm in here. Now I got the trade on. Now I got to go ahead and establish the risk here. I'm going to hold here towards the 509 right now, which is about a $30 risk. Really looking for this to get going. So I got to give myself a little bit of room here. But if this could really start going through the 6, that's where I can add the next 100 shares and take a little bit of a bigger swing here on MGOL, back down through that 509 and definitely going to get out. So already set the stop here, guys. If you guys want to watch this trade live in the action, just tune in here. Let's see what happens here. Back towards the 520s. Could come back and get me at the 509s. We'll look to see if it gets there. Just keeping a close eye on it here, especially 510s show up there. And we got to be a little bit careful as it starts to break. So just pretty much holding it off the 15-minute candle. So the low on the 15-minute candle is right around 509. So right underneath that, I would definitely want to get out. If the candle became red, I wouldn't want to be in the candle anyways. So here's 526. Let's looking for the recovery of the 540s and then a breakout to the upside there. I like the way I went about it. I still got 539 with the 100 shares here. Let's see if this can really get going. Nvidia back down. It's not going to give me the chance, man. Forget Nvidia today, man. Forget Nvidia. Am I long on the SQQQ? On the swing trade account, I still got that long. I did cut out a little bit earlier on the day trade action. All right, back to 513 here on MGOL. We got to be careful here for a little bit of a cut down back towards the 5 and then a washout there. There's one candle where it hit there, the 507 there just for a second there. Washed out some people. Now I'm looking to see if it's actually going to wash me out here. It's really close to getting me out here. All right, guys, I'm going to set it down closer towards the 501 here because it's just trying to stop me and trigger me. So giving myself $3 more of risk here. Still rejecting here. This 506, 504s. Back through the 510s here. All right, in a second, I'm going to just let go of this stop and then start looking for it to start working its way back to the 520s there. There's 510s start to show back up. Saw some buying off of the kind of the 511 area. So let's see if we can get back towards the 520s here. 515 start to show up there. 518, so that's looking good there. Now it starts to reverse out of this area. Risking 39 here, already set the stop there. Let's see if it can start to work its way back through that 520s, 540s. Next stop there, if it can get through that 520, start to get back above the 9 EMA here. 15-minute chart, not wanting to go red here. Needed to hold here off of this. If it goes to 494s, I'd want out anyways. So let's see what happens here. Got the stop set there at 5, right on the dot here. Here it comes to try to maybe get me 508s. 504 is on the bid here. Might try to get me here. Just trying to load up some size there. There's 499s, 505s on the bid there, 510s. Right off of these levels, trying to stop me out here. I could add here and then just maybe hold slightly below it, but there's no need for it. It's more risk here of an established amount, the $40, and then see what happens. There we go. We got some volume to come back in it. That's actually a good outlook here. Now it goes to 515s. Let's get it back to the 520s there. And forget you, Nvidia. Forget you. Spy, though. Spy. I spy with my little eyes, man. It's holding up here, but I feel like it's going to do a nice crackdown today. So another way to maybe trade this on the downside was SPXS. So SPXS is, of course, your short of your SPY bear 3 leverage. And right now we're seeing a hold off of this 843s. So not a bad area to maybe take a shot off of on this one. So I'm going to go ahead and do this. I actually don't mind the trade out there. So I already have the stop there for MGOL. I'm looking to go ahead and get a starter on this and really take a shot here, guys. So 500 shares is going to be the first start here. And then I'll look to try to get some more here if I could start seeing the market really break down there. I just put out the 47s. It jumps to the 48s there. I'll take the 48s. I'm already in there looking for the cut down back here in towards the 840s for ads. I won't add unless I get to that 840 or I start to break out towards 860. So 860s is another ad where it starts to break out and the SPY breaks down. So we'll see what happens there. If the SPY goes back through 532, that could also get me out and I could just start kind of protection there. We'll see what happens in FAZ. Can I start to get that to turn around? Going back to MGOL to see if that's going to stop me out there. It might get me right here. Still seeing some downside there and just not wanting to come back here. So I might get a click here towards the 5. So I'm going to give it a second off the 498s. So just trying to give it a little bit of the spread there. You can see there's like this 5,000 at 5 that it might just grab. So it's trying to grab this 505, this 5, and then there's 495s. So let's see what happens here off the 505s. You guys can see my order. It's just right there. That's the fun part. I ain't hiding. Nvidia, man. You're killing me, Nvidia. You're killing me, Smalls. All right, guys, 950s, 860s, and I'll add on SPX. I'm gonna actually go ahead and set that up there. Set up that ad. So that's gonna be a 200 ad there on 860s. To stop by at 860. Had to fix that. I almost put out there stop by at 849. That would have instantly filled. That would be no bueno. Looking for that breakout back through the 860s, and then this could start running back to 890s and then maybe even make it to 9. So I like the outlook. That's 50 cents higher. We'll see if we're able to get that. MGOL just playing with me right now. There you guys have it. Just got triggered on that MGOL as it came back down there. Hit me out there for 47. It was got a little slippage there. So we'll just see what happens if MGOL comes back. But man, that one's another rejection there. A little tough on that one. Let's go to SPX. This is going to be the last final trade of the day, guys. It's 10:32. I'm going to take my shot on this, guys. This is going to be my daily shot here today. Of course, I could take a look at Tesla and all that action. FAZ is another one that I want to take a look at as it starts to work its way back. I want to add a little bit more to this one, and we've got 2 shots to take here. So FAZ and SPXS. So those are the ones that I'll be taking here. I'll be taking some shots there. Just added on FAZ. I got 585s, looking for a push towards 10. As I get towards 10, I'll add another 400 shares. I'll be about 25 cents in the green, pushing me up towards like 990 and really looking for the breakout above 10. SPXS, let's take a look at that one. Where could I get an add? I got 860s where I can definitely add there. And then once that happens, I'll look for 850s on the pullback too. So I'm going to actually put this already out there. So 200 shares. I'm going to put a stop limit on order triggering at 861, or let's do 862 with an 852 pullback buy. So the limit would only fill if it comes back to 852 after triggering on 862. I really like these orders, guys, and I want to start using these more often, the stop limit triggers, right? Because what really happens here, it's kind of a trick, right? Get me to these levels, trigger the order, then come back and fill me. Buy the dip after the rip, right? Doesn't seem too bad of an idea. All right, guys, time to catch up with you guys in the chat, and we'll catch up out there. It's looking good out there, guys. What do you guys got out there? SLN? Okay, I'll take a look at that one. Intel is bouncing back. All right. I see you guys out there in the chat. We're going to talk a little bit about the trading 10 stocks, right? Did you ever get the book, The One Thing by Gary Keller, the founder of Keller Williams? Really worked $400 billion. Not that bad. Hey, man, I do have a nice credit on Amazon. I read a lot of books, well, at least right now on the Audible side. So I'm going to write that one down, man. I'll keep it, I'll write it down. I'll take a look at it for you to day trade. You can't tell me one and me not take it. I'll take a look at that one. The One Thing by Gary Keller. All right, we'll take a look at that. All right, guys, so trading the 10 stocks the same, right? And what can that help you, right? So a lot of the action that we do off of that is all based on one thing, right? And so when we're thinking about trading 10 stocks, what are the things that it's going to give me the advantage and disadvantages? Let's talk a little bit about that. The advantage is that you do start to learn the patterns, right? The patterns in each play is very important. And that could actually give you the next step up in how you trade, right? So what you want to be doing is maybe keeping a list of these 10. You pick the 10. It doesn't matter what they're in. But then look at patterns that trade in this stock, right? So like, let's say Tesla, right? If I look into the stock and I see, okay, it had an inverse head and shoulders on the daily that gave it a big breakout. And how does it trade on the intraday? Has a lot of times wipeouts to the support and recoveries all the way back. So these types of patterns, I need to look into the chart and see what patterns does this stock make consistently. Then I want to put these all on the kind of spreadsheet. And then I want to start taking a look at when has it done it in the past, right? How often is it doing it right now? Because stocks repeat patterns. This is why we learn technical analysis in the first place. So if they're going to repeat the pattern, I need to learn the pattern. And then I can't learn the patterns of 500 stocks or 12,000. There's no way on earth that you're going to learn that action. Now you can learn the action of, let's say, 5 different stocks and then see how that works, right? So then you also have the overall market knowledge, right? So if you know that Tesla trades bull flags easily, right? Bull flags, right? And then you're seeing the overall market do a breakout to the upside. And you're also seeing maybe, let's say, auto manufacturers get that move to the upside. And you know that bull flags do well for Tesla off what? Off the full 100% retracement. Then you go and you attack it at that level. Those types of trades can definitely help you. Another thing of trading the same 10 stocks is that a lot of these same 10 stocks are going to be probably what? Highly correlated to the market. So by being highly correlated to the market, overall, what the market is doing, majority of the times, these stocks are going to do it also. Like it's very rare to see, let's say, Apple, Google, Amazon down, and then the market be like, let's say, up, right? That just doesn't happen often. And so with that being said, if I trade those names and let's say 8 of the 10 are in the green, that could also tell me that maybe the majority of my trades should be to the upside today because 8 of the 10 names are green. So let me go with that trade, right? These all are just trying to make things easier on making what? Trading decisions, right? Because that's what we have as traders. We have indecision time, and then that's how you go ahead and you take decisions, right? So hey, traders, I'm not saying that this is the right way, taking 10 stocks, or is it the wrong way? I can tell you guys that from my experience, I do trade outside of the 10 names, but could I also take back a step back and just trade 10 names and try to master that? I do think that's an approach worth looking into. So if you're a trader that's thought about it, what I would recommend is you take the data first, right? And you let the data almost push you to trading it. Almost where you look at the data and you're like, bro, how am I not trading this? Because I'm just missing out on money that's purely statistical, right? And so start taking the data, start doing the hard work, because this is really the hard work. And I talk about it all the time. The hard work is not trading. The hard work's outside of trading. Figuring out what type of strategy that we want to come after, what type of process we're going to use to get to success. So you out there that's listening to me right now, stop being lazy and start doing the hard work and understanding your systems to get to success, right? Is it the 10 stock system that's going to make me get there? Well, let's start taking the data and seeing what those 10 stocks are and what patterns I see in those 10 stocks, right? So it's good to see you guys out there. I know a future day trader talks about this. Maybe do 250 instead of 5,000 or 12,000. Yeah, that's the truth, right? I mean, maybe it's just a smaller list. And I do see people do that too. Maybe like 25 names, right? Hey, like always, the key to me, I think, is understanding the data. And I'm so into data. So if you guys have data like this, reach out to me. And I think it's so important to take more and more data. The question is, are you willing to do the hard work and taking this data? Because it doesn't just get done by itself, right? We have to do some hard work after trading and actually spend time in the background, the back side of trading, not the front side, which is like the execution side. It's like in sports, right? Really, a lot of the times playing the game gets you better, but there's truly nothing like practicing certain skills in a sport so that you can see the outcome in the actual execution time of the live game. Well, this is the live game here. So let's make sure that we're taking the work outside of the live game to get us to that next level. I hope you guys appreciated me taking a second here on that. Let's go back to the trading action and see what we can find before we wrap it up. Guys, it's about 10:40. We'll be wrapping up in a little bit here. But let's see if the market starts to pick a direction. It's on both sides right now. Why? Because it's trying to wait till the retail traders get out of here, and then the algorithms and the big money is trying to make the money today. I will say this again, it's trying to wait us out. So it's trying to trigger both sides of the trade and then pick a direction. How does it do that? It makes swings to the downside, swings to the upside. The number one thing I put out yesterday on my Twitter was that what do I see working right now? It's range trading. buying, let's say, the bottom of the support, selling it at the resistance, buying it at the support, selling it at the resistance. I'll show you this right now. Let's take a look at the chart. So let's say perfect example. Let's go to the Qs. The Qs have been doing this all day long. I'm going to go to the 1 minute so you can see it a little bit better. So look at the Qs here. Look how it comes from the top of the Bollinger Band to the bottom of the Bollinger Band, back to the top of the Bollinger Band. And if you want to do the range, that's right here to the 448 and back down to the bottom of the Bollinger Band. What action does that do? It stops out the retail trader often. And that's the algorithms making money off of us. Let's not give them that money, and let's maybe wait till we see an actual move and then take the swing. I have been literally doing the same thing where I'm taking probably too many trades early. And then when the trade starts to actually pick a direction, I don't have money on my daily limit to get after this. This is why I also like weekly limits versus daily limits, because then you take a daily hit and you're just like, I can't get after this anymore. I've already lost too much today. And you miss the trade, the actual trade that happens. So we'll see what happens out there, guys. Smash the like. Go live on X next Saturday. Future day trader. All right. Well, I mean, we can do this. I got no problem. I can meet up with you guys on the weekends. I'm actually looking forward to thinking about doing some more education on weeknights and weekends. Of course, you guys know I've studied to be a CMT, so I'm working on that. But I got so many books on technicals, so many books on financials, intermarket analysis. We could talk psychology, guys. There's so much more on the education side. Of course, we also got a lot of education on our Discord. My man Tim kind of front runs that, but we got so much more out there, guys. The Discord is definitely a great resource, but I want to bring more resources for you guys, and I want to give you guys some more education for you guys to learn on. And Scott, that's what I tell you. If you're thinking about doing that, literally do the hard work to find if the data tells you to do it, Scott. If the data tells you to do it, let's talk about it and maybe we get after it. Daniel, guys, is the 10 cent and 1 minute rule only for funding tests or also for the funded account? Yeah, it's going to be on everyone, right? Like you have to wait for that 1 minute. That's just part of the rules of the platform, right? So like always, if you have particular rules that you want to find out about, just reach out to us so that you got that one confirmation email that tells you that this is how it is. And then you can use that to come back to us if for any reason it's something outside of that, right? You want to make sure that you're getting the answers you need, Daniel. So reach out to our customer service and make sure that they also tell you that this is how it is, right? At the end of the day, I'm a trader here. I trade the pool, just trying to trade and teach you guys. I'm not the customer service, but I'm here to help you guys. At the end of the day, I try to help you guys on pushing forward in your trading action. Let's keep it going, guys. What else is out there? Bring on great traders like Wisdom and Scott. Yeah, man, you guys in the chat, I've told you guys this. The door is open for you guys. Just like we got traders coming on from the Olympics, let me know. Send me an email, mitch@tradethepool.com, or you guys can just hit up the comments. Guys, I want to come on the show. Let us know. Hit us up. All we need is kind of an email or reach out to you, make a small connection, and then just bring you onto the show because I'm always willing to bring on some other traders. You don't need to be a Lamborghini style trader. The only thing we're looking for is traders that are trying to get better and understand the system and trying to make moves. That's what it's all about. All right, guys, let's keep going, guys. What else is out there? I love it. Top and every time. Yeah, get after it, man. Let's see what else is out there. How are you going to trade when you become EMT or CMT? So it doesn't trade too much, right? It's chartered market technician. What it does is it teaches you the technicals. And I know the technicals. I know technicals. I really do. But the truth is that's not all of it, right? Like I talk about it. There's multiple variables. Technicals is just one variable. It's a lot how day trading is done. So that's one thing I will say, that day trading tends to lean more into technical analysis than, let's say, swing trading. Swing trading, you definitely need to understand a little bit more about the economics and the overall market. But in day trading, a lot of the times, people lean more in technical analysis because it's such short time frame that, let's say, like deep fundamentals don't really matter, right? Like the fundamentals of, let's say, of how the book shares on Apple costs don't really play into the day trading action. But it's something to understand if you're investing or swing trading. So just to mention that. What is the CMT? It's a chartered market technician. It's an actual designation for technicians in the market. You can look it up. You actually have to do some hard work. It's 3-level exam, and they have like an association. I'm part of the association, but smash the like, guys. CMT is definitely something really awesome. If you're looking to make this let's say a career, I would definitely look into the CMT as a way to get not only education, but get that designation to look and move forward, right? We all like to have a little bit of, instead of that doctor in front, I wouldn't mind having that CMT at the end of my name. Does this work worldwide? Yes, it does work worldwide, right? And withdrawing has happened from all different types of countries. What I would tell you, top list, to take a look at is go to our YouTube and take a look at the funded traders that have traded. Listen to their interviews. You'll see how truthful and honest and transparent they are. And I always love to see it, right? We just had a trader here in the chat, Yaz, that had an interview. I'm actually going to grab that before we wrap up, guys. We got about 10:47. We're going to wrap up here soon. But I want to give you guys that Yaz interview to check it out because I thought it was a great interview. You guys got to check it out. All right, let's keep going. And sounds very interesting. Yeah, it is very interesting, the CMT. I think it's really awesome. Like I told you guys, it's not easy also. So it's only for people, I think, that are really trying to make a step forward. But keep pushing, guys. And the fun part is CMT is all over the world. And they have meetups like in New York, and you get to meet really important people. I can tell you guys, I've met some really, really cool people in the CMT Association, some real experts, some guys that have brought me to the New York Stock Exchange, and I've walked the New York Stock Exchange, right? Things like this, I think it's important because the truth is, guys, I don't do this just to, fool around. I'm trying to be a professional at this. I hope you are also. All right, Boogie Woogie, you love studying? Hey, maybe look into it. Let me know. I'm always willing to talk a little bit more about it. Does it change your rules in your trading? Well, it could. It definitely changed me in understanding more and more how I used to think that I had edge in like understanding intermarket analysis. And then when I started looking into the CMT, I realized more and more that's a real edge in the market. It's not like I'm the only one that's looking at that. It's rotation. Understanding rotation is something that I feel I can find edge in the market. That's why I love swing trading, because I feel like swing trading and rotation trading is very similar. And why I call it rotation trading is because that's what it is. Sometimes you're going to get a rotation to tech. Sometimes you're going to get a rotation from growth to defensive names. That's what I'm looking for today. In the case of, let's say, shorting ARKK or going long on SARC, right? So SARC got down there to the 35.10s. I would love to see another cut down back below the 35s towards the 34s today. And I'd take a swing trade on this back to the upside. We'll see what happens. Huge coming down. I alerted with a short at 28 cents. All right. Doesn't look too bad. Definitely not my type of stock there at 28 cents there, but I wish you the best. Doesn't look too bad there. Just pulled off of that 30 cents. We'll look to see if it does come down. All right, guys, looking around, Nvidia just chomping all around and not making a decision here, guys. Now coming back to the VWAP. I'll look to see if that ever gets there towards the 107. I don't mind going short on that. But let me go ahead and pull up Yaz's interview here in just a second. I got to get that going here. Got to set it up. All right, let me go ahead and get that set up here. All right, just got to look for it right quick. Give me 1 second here, guys, so I can locate it here. Trade the pool, baby. All right, I found it, man. This was a good one, guys. So I'm getting the interview link right now for you guys to take a look at it after the show. I want you guys to take a look at that, man. There it is, guys. There's that interview with Yaz. Definitely check it out, guys. A funded trader that's just in our chat. So you were asking about it. Hey, take a look at it. Scott says CMT is legit. Too many designations are crap. CMT is recognized by big banks, business schools, and the industry. 1000% agree, Scott. There's two designations that I would either think about, right? There's the CFA and there's the CMT. The CFA, I could go after. It would just require me to do some more schooling. It's more into the fundamentals. And the reason why I don't like it is because I did a lot of studying in school. I went to school for finance and I studied all that crap. And the reason I'm calling it crap is that a lot of it just doesn't go into play into the real life trading, right? It is good for investment outlook, but the truth is that even if the stock has the best growth outlook, the best margins, it doesn't mean that it's going to get the love from retail investors, from institutional investors. Doesn't mean that the technicals are going to be right. And so things like that, I fight it a little bit. But that's a CFA, right? That's a certified financial advisor, right? And so I think you guys can take a look at it. The big thing is when you go after these, you will become a professional. That could cause you to have to pay more in data and things like that. That's another thing to think about. So if you don't want to be a professional, maybe the CMT is not for you, but maybe CMT style of education is for you. And that's what I want to do, guys. So let me know if you guys are thinking about getting some education. I would love to hear it. Nothing on right now, just putting it out there. I always love to put out some feelers to see how you guys are thinking about things. And feedback is so important. So let me know, guys. I've been trying to make this show better every single day. I'm going to continue doing it. And if you guys want to make it better, let me know how I can do so, right? That's what I'm here for. All right, guys, it's 10:52. I'm going to start wrapping it up, guys. There's not much out there right now. It's still choppy land out there in the market trading. As you guys can see, I'm down a little bit there on that FAZ, down to the 973s. Still looking for a quick move back to the upside there. SPY is just kind of slowly grinding up higher, looking like it wants to take the 532 now. We'll see if it's able to take that. Really, we're still just trading within the hourly range. The hourly range could go to 533 and 534s and then come down. It's going to be a shake all around, guys. EXFY, that got up there to 220s. So glad I didn't go and short that Expensify, but we'll see if it cuts down back below the $2 later today. Not a bad one to keep a watch on this one. SPXS. Of course, this is probably going to get a nice little pullback here as the market starts to break down through that lower. As it gets down here towards the 840s, 830s, I could take another ad looking for this to go higher. Definitely going to keep it towards probably about like a $400 risk today, down about 256. We'll keep pushing. Nvidia was the best trade outlook, just no entry on that 107. If I would have got that early 107 entry, would have been able to take some profits towards the 104s. And then looking for this to continue. Would I still have some shares? Yes, but I would at least have some in the green. We'll see what happens there on Nvidia if it can come back to that 107 spot. Day trade with Tony, NFE, working, vomiting right now. And yes, that is definitely vomiting. New Fortress Energy, just getting that rip down. And utilities overall, just getting smacked, right? Just getting smacked. So you guys can take a look to see if some of those can keep retracing. Like I see this right here. This seems like a nice little trade right there. XLU, 1, 2, 3 times to try to break out back above this kind of like 73.14s. If it fails 73 now, it doesn't look too bad. If it comes back down and gives you a red candle through 73, doesn't look too bad for me to see this break back down towards the low and start working its way back to 72.60s on the short side of things on XLU. We'll see what happens there. All right, guys, Intel will bounce back. We'll find out, future day trade. I'll hold you to that one. Taking a swing on it. We'll find out, guys. What would be your risk on that Intel? When you put those swings out there and ideas, tell us. Like, I'm thinking entry around here. I'm thinking risk around here. And this is why. Because the why is very important. Why would it bounce back? Tell me, is it because growth stocks are going to bounce back? Is it because semiconductors will have a better outlook on Monday? Hey, it could be all different types of things. The reasoning behind your trade sometimes is very important because that starts to combine the variables that I talk about. All right, guys, that's going to do it for me today. I hope you guys enjoyed talking different action, talking about the CMT, talking about the 10 stocks. I hope you guys take a look at taking a trade in like 10 stocks only, or understanding different strategies that you can get after. If you're a trader that's struggling to find success and you're really struggling, where to the point where you're testing your own strategies, you're just like, I don't know where to look. Well, it's important to go ahead and do testing. Sometimes it might take you taking very, very small trades to find out if a system works for you and then getting after it big. My man, future day trade billionaire, said it best the other day when he was talking to who? Bullseye, which I haven't seen in the chat. I hope you're doing well, my friend. But hey, future day trade billionaire said what? Hey, maybe take the smaller package first and wait till you really start to see that nice profitability, and then you can step up to the bigger packages. That actually makes complete sense, because the truth is we need to find a system that works, and then we can keep sizing that system up. And if we can't size it up, then we realize that we ran into a wall and we reassess. Like always, traders, I'm going to keep battling with you guys and learning. I hope you guys learn from me and my wins and losses, especially my losses, because that's the only way that you are going to get better if you're tuning in right here on Trade the Pool. We'll see you next time, guys. Keep making improvements and think about what's one habit you want to improve on next week that you can go ahead and start to set a system up to make that improvement and make better habits. Atomic Habits, definitely a book that I'm reading right now that I tell every trader to check out so that you can start making the right habits in the right direction. We'll keep trading out there and keep battling in the market. Guys, it's 10:57. I'm going to go ahead and get out of here, wrap up the weekend. We'll see what happens with the market, and stay safe out there, traders. We'll see you back on Monday, and let me know, what do you guys want to see more or less of right here? I'm always willing to go ahead and get after it. And like always, hit that subscribe if you're not subscribed already. I'll see you back next time, team.